welcome to Dope Check, episode 28 with Tactical Rab, Trey Zero, Ace of Stocksman, and special guest, Gursh. Guys, buzzing this week. No matches this week, but a lot to look forward to. EWC champs, drama on the TL. We got Clayster, we got Boston, we got attach confirming things, we got accuracy, maybe going to OpTic. I don't know what's even going on. Craziness. I will also say early on, but let's get this out of the way. Like, comment, subscribe, and also if you're on Spotify, subscribe. We are now doing our pre-show included in our Spotify sessions. So if you do want to support the show and you want our little bit of extra spice to everything we do, check out us on Spotify. Boys, what's going on? What's happening? Talk to me. Let's start with today. Let's keep it traditional. Tactical Rabito. What's going on, man?
Let's go. It's fantastic intro as always. I feel like you don't get enough credit for your intro game compared to some of the other guys in the scene. So you got to tip it. But yeah, what a weekend. Lewis Hamilton was the British Grand Prix. Drama on the timeline. I'm absolutely buzzing. Dallas next week. What a week it's going to be. We got big drama behind the scenes, in person. We brought Gursh on to go through it all. We got OpTic Accuracy. We'll get into that. Yeah, what a week. What's good, Trey?
I hate going last, man, because I just feel like I'm just gonna underperform.
You're going last.
You're not going last today. We got Gursh.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying though, man. Like Ace drops the fucking banger intro. Rab's had a fucking Rab always doing something interesting, and Trey just plays Exified. So Gursh, take it away.
Honestly, bro, no matches means I got my weekends back. That's all I can ask for sometimes.
All right. Let's hop.
Yeah, so I got a quick question actually before we hop into the show.
Right.
When
Yes,
you guys
sir.
play a match, like you be prepping memes like every match that you're playing, yeah? And
No.
if you lose, how many things this year have you not been able to post because you guys like the result wasn't as you wanted?
I mean, we don't really prep because ideally the post is something that's like timely and in the groove of what's going on in Twitter conversations. So it's usually like before the match we'll put our heads together, get something cooked up. To answer your question though, not much. FaZe have thankfully had a good year. The one thing that sticks out to me the most though is the tweet we had if we beat Toronto at their home event. Yeah, we had a crazy one.
Damn it.
Maybe we're gonna see it at the end of the season. I want some like little Easter egg.
I'll show it to you.
It's in the drafts in case it ever happens again. The stars line up and we see them like that.
No, that's the thing. We can't use it again because it's something that's made for that timely event.
So
Like,
it wouldn't
it's something that
even
makes the
work if
most
it happened
sense.
again. If they saw each other again
Exactly.
the same way. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
man. All right, let's jump into it straight ahead. We're probably gonna be here for 3 hours as we usually are. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. First things first. Challenger Champs groups. We have Group A, FC Black, the Classic, Asa, McSeed, Bracken, Rex. We got other names that stand out. We got the SGP Midnight, Temp, Assault, Capsule, Eric, Boom. Group B, some very common names, the EU guys: Hixie, Vortex, Mythics, Weeman, Journey, Super, Yanko, Rancor, the Spanish. Group C, we got
Rancor, my
Omen,
guy.
Kamet, Awakening, Purge, Prolude, Bance. Big names. What do we think about Challengers Champs? What do we think, predictions? Who's going to take it? Are we any surprises?
I mean, I'm sure there'll be surprises. Like, okay, the way this seems to work is that you get the 4 groups and then they play single round robin, and of the teams that advance, top 2 advance, bottom 2 go home. Double on in bracket for the dub. Yeah, Donington's team qualified. One team that didn't make it was like Vivid's team. I know Vivid was talking about how he's had another season of like feels like he was really good at the game, but just didn't really get to do much. Obviously was on ROKKR, gets dropped, takes a bit of a break, comes back, plays challenges. It's Vivid the Warrior. Yeah, there it is. It does turn up. So yeah, he tweeted about this, I think. Yeah, so unreal, confident of the game, absolutely nothing to show for it. But I think Vivid will be back. There's always questions on why he keeps getting dropped from these rosters. But yeah, FaZe Black obviously are up there. Find it interesting how the teams seem to be, like Group B is basically just European players. And then Group A, it's kind of a different story. Some of the groups are kind of stacked. Interesting that we got 2 SGP teams in the same group, just because, I'm not saying there's going to be anything going on there, but from like a conflict of interest perspective, I think it probably would be better to avoid that. I like Cammy's team though for this event. Not gonna lie.
You mean to tell me that challenges is a better format than CDL? You mean to tell me that challenges has 4 groups of 4 and the top 2 qualify and the bottom 2 go out goodbye, and that's what we've been asking for years on end, but they get it and we don't?
That's exactly what we're telling you, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Fuck. Oh, Jesus. Listen, obviously the favorites are probably FC Black as always. They're always favorites to take these events and stuff like that, but I don't feel like they're going to take it. I have a feeling, you know, I want my boy Benjamin Bance, you know. Afro, he's back in the mix too. There's a bunch of people that I'd love to see win it. It's nice to see our cities competing in it too. Especially because a lot of these people are going to be back next year, the ones that did get dropped this year too, like we expect Vivid, our cities, you know. I even see Afro can come back too if he has a good event. So yeah, it's nice to see. I'm actually excited to watch it because it is just pure stack. Like you're going to walk in there, every match is just going to be a good match. So yeah.
Yeah, challenges has been like leveling up lately, especially with like Shift and Stud casting for it. Shift's been putting in an absolute shift as well because he's out there in Riyadh having just finished the Esports World Cup coverage, and then he's up at 4:30 in the morning casting challenges. Like absolutely next level commitment from Alan. Nothing but respect.
We got people are you know, we got Benjay in the chat over here directing me a little bit on where to look, but we got, you know, some criticism of the
I'll try and find a tweet for
three NA teams in one bracket. Again, if I had to make my favorites for this, by the way, like I just want to put like my favorites for this, I would definitely have FC Black. I would definitely have Omit. I would have both Omit teams actually. Those would be my top three. Top three. First, if I'd say it would be ASIM, Exceed, Bracken Rex. Second would be Omit Brooklyn. And then third would be Omit EU for my top 3 teams to win this, actually. Yeah, really excited to see which challengers make it because typically whoever wins adds to the spice of the roster-mania that happens afterwards. And who knows, maybe some of them get picked up for some EWC teams. That's possible too. You know, just some guys that are fresh in this game, obviously really good. Any insight, Gursh, on the FC Black team and what's going on with them?
I mean, I know they've been prepping hard. Ace, you were here in LA when ASIM was practicing out of first the FaZe office and then Tommy's house.
Yeah,
just straight scrims. Doing it that early as well is like very typical in terms of the team's commitment as a whole. Personally, I'm like a bit worried because anyone I've talked to has told me that Omit EU are just like the demons for challengers right now. But FC Black on LAN, I feel like have fought that narrative over and over again. So I'm hoping that's what happens again.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, definitely excited to see what happens here. Here's the rotation and tweet. Thank you, Tactical Rabito, for throwing that this way. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it works out. I hope it works out really well. Continuing on from here, Rab. Me and Trey created this tier list on our Friday show. Gursh is here as well, so I want to see you guys react to this list and just kind of see what you think of our list. Is it a W list, L list? People in the comments were going crazy, but before we get into what they were saying, I want to see what you guys think about our Dope Check official tier list.
Okay, I'm giving this like a pretty sizable dub tier list, to be honest. I was actually impressed with what the boys put together here. The thing that I like most about this is the fact that S tier is just S tier, you know what I mean? You ain't stuffing players into S tier that ain't really the creme de la creme. Like, that tier should be the absolute superstar level players, and in a 48 player league, you can have 4, maybe 5. I think if I was doing the bloody superstar thing, I'd probably put Shotzzy up there, but I think on the course of the season, Shotzzy was a level just below those 3 guys. So I think the Simp Hydra Scrap thing is great. I like the Ghosty pick in the A tier. I know lots of the debate was on Pred. I thought I was going to sneeze. Like in Pred and Kenny, whether they should have been the opposite way around or not. Okay, B tier is interesting. I know people were talking about Skies, but I think that's probably justified. TJ up in the B tier. Envoy there, like you might expect him to be better going forward. Yeah, it was Diamond on a B tier player, possibly you can argue that. I think there's maybe a couple I would look at, like, you know, respectfully, I don't know if Lamar was C tier. I might have to drop him down. Over the course of the season, probably that's justified, though.
Let me add also, though, that left to right is also a tier. So the highest in the A tier is on the left. The lowest in the tier is on the right. So, like, Linz, for example, I had him
I was going to say,
B.
like, Linz, I probably would have put him low B, I think, personally.
Yeah, but Chat and Trey had him in high C. So.
Yeah, I think, like, in the same way that I'm giving... I think I would give Lamar the benefit of the doubt into C based on his start of the year. I think I should also give Linz the benefit of the doubt on the... If you're going to put Lamar C, I think Linz should be B.
The issue is that when Ace votes on someone and I vote on someone, and we let the chat decide. And you know the chat's got a little bit of CTE sometimes. You know how it is, you know. Kenny was also an A at one point, and then Pred were, you know, I was also debating if Pred should go B. And a lot of people, Marky B commented on the post as well, basically saying, like, I don't think any players that didn't make champ should be in B. Like, I didn't really like that take too, because like then we're just gonna throw, like, it's just gonna throw people up top, and then we're just gonna call everyone else shit that didn't make champs. Like,
yeah,
I think we've done a pretty good tier list. You know,
I even think the way that you've organized this is pretty damn good within the tiers. I think I would put Kenny A personally. I think what Kenny does for the team.
Kenny's major four is what made me have him at a high B. It was definitely this last major where I was like, okay, he's been struggling pretty badly. Something's not meshing well. So I had him on a... I was the one that was pushing for him to get out of A and go to B. So if anyone wants to put any blame on somebody, I'm right here.
Okay? I can see it. I can see it.
Gursh, what do you think about
Nero's
this list?
in a nice spot as well.
Gursh, what do you think about the list?
I just don't want to interrupt. I kind of agree. I was watching Rab's video this morning where he shared his thoughts, and a lot of them made sense to me. Like, you have the very elite players in S tier. The rest is just as follows. The only changes I personally would make are just the left to right. Like, I personally would have Dan Ghosty a bit higher than people like Sib and Pred. I think Ghost could go higher. I think Flames definitely could go higher. Some things, like, I'm sure came down to chat. Like, I know Illy's in B tier, but when we're putting him there, it's purely based off of one major performance.
Yeah.
But we're not doing the inverse. Like, we're not looking at Kiz and saying, wow, Kiz had a great major 4. Maybe we should move him higher.
Well, the issue is that Illy only had like the good major, whereas Kiz has like the average year and then a fucking bang out major 4.
Yeah.
You know, and people saying about the S tiers, like, listen, the S tiers are just the MVP candidates for this year. Like, that's straight up all it is. Like, there's a reason they're S tier, and that is the 3 players that are in talks for being MVP this year.
Yeah, Rap said it perfectly when it's not S tier is not superstar in this case. This is not a superstar list. This is a MW3 specifically individual skill in this game, how you performed, what you did for your team, and that is what we're looking at here only.
And to the people saying that like Shotzi should be higher and everything like this, like, I understand that. But to go 1-6 and then top 12 and then lose to Boston Breach as our only loss in 15 games, like, that's the best I could do. Like, I'm gonna be real, that's the best I could do.
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting when I asked Gursh, I thought Gursh was gonna be like, the problem with this list is that Draza, Selly, and Abizi should be an S tier. This is a big problem with this list. It's not good. Overall, yeah, I can see obviously subtle changes around here, but generally across the board, I think this is the most fair list. I think it's genuinely the most fair list that could have been created.
I love how like D tier is basically just the whole Boston team.
No, D tier was we kind of made that how Trey and I in the chat kind of thought of it was dropped. Basically, like if you got dropped, pretty much you should be in the D tier, or it's Boston if you like, you know, you didn't win anything, so clearly you didn't have a good year, you didn't play one MW3, you couldn't get a win. But chat, I mean, hopefully maybe you guys agree or disagree. You could tell us what you think about the tier list. Who would you change? Let us know if there's anything, but we're gonna keep pushing ahead though. But W list overall.
Also, don't cry about it. It's already done. It's already on YouTube. Cry more in the chat. See you later. On to the next topic. Wah. Call a fucking ambulance. See you later.
You're a comedian, bro. Going ahead, we got our first COD Warzone. You know, first COD event of EWC is now completed. We have Falcon Esports winning EWC Warzone, taking home $200,000 between Biffle, Hisoka, and Shifty. Incredible team, OP team. First reactions to by the greatest trio in Warzone winning the event. Are we shocked? Do we surprise anyone?
No,
not at all.
It's like, yeah, I mean, it's
they literally just cooked everyone's shit the entire weekend, which is pretty pretty typical, to be fair. I mean, they got 1 million. Was it 200K first place or 250? I think maybe it was. I don't know.
Yeah, they
I
started
mean,
First
listen,
place
person.
there's only one person there. Like, obviously, Hisoka and Biffle, like, unbelievable players, but you got to tip it to Shifty, really. The guy went literally through hell and back to prove he wasn't cheating. And, like, everyone thought he was cheating. I thought he was cheating. This guy's fucking, you know, it looked like he was cheating. But the guy just comes to land and does the exact same shit. You know, he was live streamed, he was being ridiculed, he got flown out to a like, this guy was going through it, man. And you know, it's nice to see him just come out and just absolutely fry everyone. And it's not like they won by a few points, they literally slammed every single person there. So, you know, congrats.
Yeah, was not close. And I will say, I went over to the house.
The baggers, right?
Yeah, I went to the house that Shifty was in, and I was jokingly like, they're touring us the house really quick, like just showing us the crib, and I walked by Shifty's setup, and I was like, so where's the Cronus? Like, I was like messing around, but like, nah, his setup was clean. Like, I had my suspicions as well about some of these guys being cheaters, but nah, man. Like, you go to their setups, there's nothing sketch. It's a normal setup. They're just fucking incredible Warzone players. So shout out Falcon Esports. Technically the home team, right? Like the Saudi organization winning the event. So, I mean, they set themselves up for success. I wonder who's going to be on. We're going to have Team Falcons for the COD event. It's going to be like Scump. It's going to the Dynasty's going to come back for the biggest bag to play the COD event coming up, hopefully. Falcon Esports can make it happen.
Falcons win their own event. Anything?
No shocker, huh?
Anyone want to talk about that? You know, just gonna, you know.
I mean, I saw some pretty fair arguments about how like there wasn't, or all of the top Warzone competitors weren't represented here because they went off of, I believe, last year's standings. But you've had really dominant players in the Warzone scene come up this year. Like Adrian's a great example. Adrian's fucking nasty, but he wasn't at EWC, unfortunately. You have regular competitors too, like Swag and stuff, who weren't out there because they didn't get the invite. So I'm interested to see, based on like how things play out this year, if we get that better representation next year. But until then, like, I'm always gonna glaze Hisoka. He's from the Bay. Like, I can't hate. Feel me? So
yeah,
he's a nice guy too, man. Like,
yeah,
like the first time I met him, obviously, like, you know, being COD players, whatever like that, it's always like mutual respect. But the first time I met him, he was at a club. He took me in like I was one of his boys. You know. I mean, I am, you know, I'm one of the lads, but yeah,
just sending you back a couple of racks after this stuff, huh?
Yeah, hopefully. Oh, come on, man. Let's lock it in.
Speaking of this event, though, I mean, we have a tweet from Adam Avicella, but it was also just speaking on it before I read the tweet out. Like, it didn't see. I don't feel like for as big as an event this is, we're seeing that much content come from it. It doesn't seem like it's getting the proper coverage. Marketing that it deserves for how much money's involved, how big of organizations are in here. And Adam actually puts out, EWC looks good production-wise and player experience sounds incredible, but they have a real awareness issue. Very informative industry happenings, and I think it's difficult to find out when streams are starting. Social hype's very low, no momentum, easy fixes, but glaring now. I'm going to start with Gursh, just because Gursh, you know, your job is social media. You're someone who gets hype going and gets the impressions. Do you think that EWC kind of has a problem in this sense, in the marketing sense?
A little bit, yes, but I don't think it's fair to impose all of it on them. I mean, I've covered like Smash tourneys before that are hosted by really small organizations as far as like their social following goes. Some of that responsibility I feel like should be considered towards the orgs themselves. Because part of your responsibility as an org is letting your fans know when you're live, what channel you're live, and that's why all COD teams tweet out like the YouTube link, all that. But I think the reason we had that issue too is because a lot of these orgs are super international. Like, personally, I'd never watched Twisted Minds play anything before, so it makes sense for all of us here in NA to not be as aware about who's playing at what time or what the standings look like at any given moment, because again, we're being dropped into competitors that we've never seen before, orgs we've never seen before, and a tournament we've never seen before.
Right. Trey, what do you think about have you seen anything on your TL? You mean your TL's covered in gaming stuff? I mean, what do you?
I didn't really see it, to be honest. Like, obviously I followed like most of the Warzone players and stuff like that, so I see them tweeting about it. But the issue is that like it is like a new thing as well, and to get the reach out to everyone like that, it's not like Scump's there, you know what I'm saying? Watch party and it all like dashing it around for everyone to see and whatever like that. It's fairly new. If there was a person, you know, to help run things, Adam would be the top dog to do it and show you how it is. But I agree with Gursh as well. Like a lot of it is like comes down to the players and the organizations to let people know that support them, that things are going on, and it's up to the organizations to do what Gursh does and stuff like that, like post memes and funny stuff and get people supporting you and the team and the whole thing in general. So
yeah.
I didn't see much of it, but it's gonna grow. Like they've got the money to make it grow, and that's all that's gonna happen.
Rabito, any takes on EWC and its awareness? You also know about F1's international, and it's kind of grown a lot in the last few years. So it's possible to make an international arrangement or sport event popular to American fans. Maybe it's just us in America who don't know about it. What do you think about EWC's marketing, and I guess Adam Apostelo's take here?
Yeah, I don't think he's wrong with what he's talking about, right? Because I feel the same way. I think this is also true. People are talking about the League of Legends stuff. That it's still like viewership-wise, the total viewership was still good, but the viewership on the English stream was probably like 20-25% of what you'd normally expect, which I think is just like a promotional issue. I think they will get there over the coming years, but it is interesting to note. To be honest, I don't mind it this way. Like, I'd prefer that the event is actually a sick event, and then people are going to discover it over time, than the other way around, where the event is kind of scuffed, and then people aren't going to be so interested. I think people in the chat are also, like Jaybird, making an interesting point, the fact that like the World Cup is like almost 2 months long, right? Like it's 7 weeks, and even remembering, okay, what is played on what week, what days and times do I tune in? Because, I'm watching Falcons play this, and then I'm watching them play that, and then I'm watching them play something else. But like, it's obviously not the same team because it's in all these different games. So I've got to wrap my head around exactly what's going on there. And I think it's the same thing for COD in some respects. It's like week 7. Maybe by the time we get to week 7, it's going to be better kind of covered and known about, and obviously we're going to be covering it. So yeah, I think it's kind of inevitable that it's going to go this way. It also, it's the kind of like the soulless thing, right? Because it's not like there's thousands of fans there that have flown in from all across the world from all of these different events. So you kind of get this, people compare it to like Qatar 2022 or whatever, right? The World Cup, when the atmosphere isn't maybe what it could be, and therefore, in terms of like the vibe and everything that comes on social media, you don't see as much of it. I think it's something that just take a bit of time, to be honest.
Absolutely.
I think what doesn't help as well is that other sporting events are going on too. Like, you're trying to watch EWC, or you're trying to watch someone like another Warzone tourney. Sorry, lads, England versus Switzerland's on. Let's lock the fuck in. Portugal, France, Spain, all these teams are playing and stuff like that, which takes away viewership as well. It's unfortunate a lot of these things happen on times that like important gaming events happen too. That's just life. Unfortunately, you can't stop that.
Speaking of COD specifically too, I remember they told us in chat that Hex had said that OpTic weren't invited. We had that going on kind of in our chat. So the clip actually was put out by Jake Hale. I guess he found exactly where that was said. So let's take a peep here of
Okay, let me just clarify real quick.
Okay.
This is a very recent podcast, came out a couple of days ago, where they are talking about, well, Hitch basically just asks straight up, like, are we going to the Esports World Cup? And this is what Hex said, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. Champs coming up. Yep. And then we got the Saudi event. Are we going to that?
To Saudi?
Yeah.
If we're invited, then yes, of course we're going.
All right. So then we got those two. And
I
then
am curious though. Look, my ego was about to fucking open its fucking mouth. You go. Keep going.
Said, and then it's off-season time. So
yeah.
Champs.
That's the whole clip. Very, very odd ending to that clip. I feel like we heard that all CDL teams were invited. So what's going on here?
Okay, I'll give my read initially, and then you guys can give your perspective on this. So people are saying, okay, what exactly is Hex getting at here? Is he implying that they haven't been invited, or exactly what's going on? Because there's 2 ways you can be invited, right? You can be invited as your own organization, or you can be invited as your actual team. Okay, this clip is the podcast. This podcast came out, Eels, like 3 days ago now. So, and obviously this is back in the Hex quarters. This is not an old clip. Like, this is recorded within the last, week, bare minimum. So after the time where we understand that all the teams have been invited. The reality is, that they've not been invited as OpTic Gaming, right? And I think that's probably what Hex is frustrated about, is that he feels like if FaZe Clan are invited, if these other organizations like Cloud9 and stuff are invited, then OpTic Gaming should be invited as OpTic because, the green wall, biggest fan base, all this stuff. The reality is that OpTic don't have teams to field in all those esports that are going to be happening over the 7-week period, so they haven't been invited. Can't imagine that Hex is so happy about that. That's just kind of my read on it. So, in some sense, they haven't been invited, but we believe that the CoD team as OpTic Texas probably has been. So, and he says that if they have been invited, they're going to say yes and accept. So my read on this is that yes, OpTic will be going, and Hex just doesn't want to make it very blunt and official on a podcast, and they want to do a proper announcement for them going. But
do you think it's like he wants OpTic going, like invited as an organization rather than OpTic Texas?
That's what I think.
You think he didn't get the you think he didn't get the OpTic Gaming invite? They got the OpTic Texas CDL team.
We know they didn't because they're not like on one of the FaZe.
But like you think like that's what he's on about there?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I will also say too, Benjay brought this up in the chat, but I also was thinking about this as well. I know, Rab, you say this was recorded recently, but I mean, they just got back from like 2 weeks in Italy. Hex was there too. So
that's a good point. I guess it was before then.
I would assume,
but like
it's like
I think
like
regardless, it
ago,
must
probably
be after the date. Yeah, that's possible actually. I think it's at least after the date where we understand that the teams were meant to be invited there. But
well, I mean, again, from all my sources, I will say. Oh, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go, and then go ahead.
Yeah, the thing is, like, all of the orgs that were given a partner invite have known for a while, which is why some orgs like Cloud9 have picked up certain teams for games they know that will be at EWC. Like, it's been something that's been out there for a while. I feel like the level of surprise that the audience has right now, thinking like, oh my god, I can't believe OpTic's not partnered. I think 100T isn't either. It's kind of unwarranted because those conversations have been had for months.
Yeah.
Wait, 100 Thieves are partnered, right?
I don't think so, because I don't think Valorant's there.
No, I don't think they're
COD's
going.
there, but yeah.
I thought I saw that logo on it.
As you're investigating that, I will say from my sources, right? Talked to a lot of people. From my sources, OpTic are, the COD team is, from what I know, has an invite, and they are. I don't know if they're gonna go, but I know they have the invite. So that's all confirmed. That's all been put out there. So.
I put the partner teams in there.
Oh, yeah, they are there actually.
Oh, yeah, the logo is on there. Yeah, the logo is on there. Benjay says they are part of the support program.
Oh, the support program, interesting.
So 100T is
damn, Trey's. I'm never wrong, boys.
That's crazy. Trey's never wrong. Yeah,
never
okay.
wrong.
To be fair, that'll be the one. That'll be the one that gets to Hex a bit, won't it? Right? Because like Nadel getting invited, FaZe invited, Cloud9
OpTic don't.
NRG invited.
OpTic doesn't have that many teams, though, right? They only have 2.
Nah, they've got a Halo. They can't expect anything else. But it's just
And Halo's not even there at the event.
Halo's not. Yeah, it's not part. It's not one of the games being played, right?
I mean, it'd be fucking lucky to be there. Let's be honest.
Yeah, keep it $150. But proceeding ahead, if a team doesn't want to spend that support stipend and go into other games, then I don't know. From Benjay to Seam. Continue ahead, though. We had another bombshell that the EWC talk. We'll see it develop over the course of next week. We have champs coming up before that. So things to focus on before we fully find out every detail about EWC, the COD side of it. But big bombshell dropped that I don't think many were expecting, maybe besides Trey Zero possibly. Clayster drops a tweet. FA for, I think he means EWC here, but EWC and next year played the game all year, so would like to play it at the biggest tourneys. Got a lot to say, but there's really no point. Got to be more selfish and play better if I want to keep my spot on the teams. Retiring, FA for next year. This whole cycle. Trey, you've been part of the cycle. You've been in and out of it. What do you think of Clay's announcement? What do you think of Ravens letting him go? And what do you think of his chances for next year?
I mean, I think he'll be fine. I think he'll get a team. It's Clayster. All right, me and him are not cut from the same cloth. All right, me getting dropped compared to Clay getting dropped. Like Trey ain't getting a team, Clay's getting a team. Ravens dropping him. Am I shocked? No. Terrible organization. That's just how it is. I literally told you guys this at the start, where like you guys were like, are they gonna like, do you reckon they're gonna get rid of Clay? I've even said it to you like off the thing. I'm like, listen, London or Ravens they just don't like keeping players, especially Clay. I'm gonna assume he's on a decently wage salary because it's Clayster, and obviously they like saving money. He wants to play, but then he also done a tweet. If you want to show it, he done a tweet basically saying, you know, I'm open to every other offer, which he done last year too. And I'm not shocked. Clay could be on the desk. He could be anywhere. He's a good talker, but he can still play. And he's saying like, oh, if I kill a horde a lot more. But that's what everyone says, because everyone knows that if you get a good KD, you know, it's likely not going to get dropped, because everyone looks at numbers rather than actually looking at how people play.
We were on Tommy's couch all of last week for Major 4, and Tommy straight up asked him if he's going to retire after the season. And the one thing Clay had said is that he's not doing Roster-mania again. So to blatantly answer the question, I feel like if he doesn't instantly get an offer from a team, or he doesn't get ushered into a position, it may just be reps.
Yeah, he ain't going to fight for it. You know, he's not going to fight for these amateur players or anything like that. It's just like, Clay, we want you on the team, sign the contract. Who do you want? Rather than, oh, we might pick up Clay or this guy or this guy. It's between these three. You just rather go do something else.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things to this, really. I think Esports World Cup, the existence of it, changes the dynamics of Roster-mania a little bit. The issue is when you're with Clay, when you're a guy like Clay, and the offers you're probably going to get are from like the poverty orgs and stuff. Like, you went from Vegas to Ravens, and like, you know how these orgs operate. You've got to sit there as a player for like 3 months, making no salary, constantly trying to finesse in people's DMs to get picked up for like a bad team for not much money. Like, it just absolutely understand why it doesn't feel worth it for Clay. But like he did say, as Magic Artistry says in the chat, there was a clip going around of him playing golf with friends where he's basically like, yeah, I really want to play Black Ops 6. So like, we'll see. I think he may try and return. I guess there's a question on like whether this is a good decision for the Ravens, because Clay, I think, started the season reasonably well. Obviously didn't end the season so well. We always talk about Clay being like an amplifier. Things didn't go so well. Again, didn't make it to the World Championship this year, just about. Obviously, all the Ravens fans are going to disappear. Not like they had many in the first place, Trey, but it is worth thinking about that when he was on Vegas, that's where the fan base was. He joins Ravens. Basically, entirety of last year's Vegas fan base went to Ravens, and now they're gone again to wherever Clay goes next. So I think when you're an organization that's not going to be really challenging for event wins, keeping Clay is probably a good idea. Look, we know that Clay wears his heart on his sleeve as well. Like, we got a couple of other tweets here that he deleted, but you know me, obviously we got him screenshotted. You know, like, yeah, this, as you said, might be the fun level in the coffin for his career. The other one I thought was more interesting, though. I'll just get your guys' perspective and the chat's perspective on this one, where he talks about, part of me wants to shut down all my social media, just disappear, feel incredibly lost with fake promises and fake people around me all the effing time. So sick of this. So, okay, who are these fake promises? Who are these fake people? This is kind of what people were talking about with the Roster-mania stuff and dealing with people trying to finesse. My question was, is this to do with, you know, the coaching situation on the team? Because obviously he comes in with Brian Saint, his boy, head coach, general manager, and maybe there was a feeling between the both of them that, like, yeah, Clay, I got you type thing. Like, don't worry about it. Like, I got your spot covered. And then it ain't happened. So I don't know. That's just speculation on my part. What he means by fake promises.
The only way that would happen. I feel like the only way that would happen is if Brian got dropped too, though.
Unless they were threatening to drop him, they were like, look, Brian, we didn't make champs. Team's dog shit. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna
Brian,
make
you've got to make one
decision,
change.
or
You've got to make one change. You got to get rid of Clay, or you're dropped. Ah, shit, my bad, James. Yeah, I mean, like,
genuinely.
I mean, listen, I don't know how people feel about it, but like, if you don't make champs, like we said about Boston, a lot of these organizations, like, if you don't make champs, like, something's got to change, you know, whether it be coaching staff. But I don't feel like dropping one player changed anything.
Yeah, the fact that they've only announced one is kind of confusing to me. Like, they're going to bring someone else in for Clay and then go to World Cup. It's like, is that going to move?
I don't see anyone coming in replacing Clay and them just instantly making champs. Like, I don't see that happening.
Okay. Gursh, you want to go really quick, or you want me to cook?
I got nothing more to say about that.
I'll cook then. I have two angles with this. First off, directly responding to what you just said, like, could anyone step in those shoes of that team where Clay is, you know, the AR role, and make the team better and give them a better chance at EWC? Honestly, considering like he was in our C tier, or lower in our C tier, I think there are better players available that you can put on that team with the likes of Fellow, who on LAN has been playing ridiculously, TJ, who's been, you know, amazing all year, and then Gwyn, who's been a bit inconsistent between LAN and online, but definitely one of our top rookies. You could put a main AR there that actually can help that team a lot more. Clay was having some inconsistencies between maps throughout the year, so I think maybe they just thought if we maybe get a different guy for EWC with a chance of making a lot of money, false promises, fake people, that could all be true. They probably were saying we're going to stick it out, and all of a sudden they came to a separate discussion saying, let's get rid of him. We have a better chance without him. So his feelings are 100% warranted, but we have to look at the reality of the total situation and maybe all perspectives here. Second thing I wanted to say was I think Clayster's chances, you know, we talk about organizations, where he could go, who would pick him up. Honestly, if I was to look at the schematics here, I think his best chance, let me know if you guys agree, would be Vegas Legion. Because in most likelihood, Attach had a good year, right? I think Attach doesn't stay with that org. That's just my thoughts. He's even spoken about potentially not playing next year. So, like, I don't, you know, it's kind of a question mark there. Clay going back to that organization probably be the best, just most sensible change. If there's another team that I'm missing that maybe he could join, you guys let me know. But, I mean, what do you think of that take? I'm very curious.
Bro, Clay can't go from Ravens to Paris, bro, like, or Vegas. Like, it's just
from Paris to Vegas, or to Ravens.
Respectfully, I understand Clay would want to play, but even he knows, like, that wouldn't be the best play. Like, there's playing just to play, and there's playing. Clay's not just going to play to, like, you know, he's not going to play to play. He wants to win. All right, that's Clay. He's not just going to show up on Vegas Legion accepting 50K a year just to fucking shoot and be in the league. Like, that's not what Clay does. But and okay. Also back to the take of, I never said they wouldn't do better. I'm just saying that this team would need a 2-man change for them to make champs, in my opinion. I'm not saying doing better. Yeah, for sure they can do better. Clay wasn't the online player they needed, but to make champs, they needed it. Like, if they were gonna keep 2 players in the team, they would keep, like, obviously they'd keep Gwyn and TJ, because that's been the 2 most consistent players this year. And then obviously the online aspect, like, whatever, like, Fellow was good towards the end of it, and then online they play better. But for me, that's why I said, would they make champs if they got someone else in? I still don't think that would be the case.
So you said no, but then you didn't say where would he go then? So your options are another team you got to give me, or would he retire? That's the only other options.
You might as well whack him on, you know, if there was one place where he would go, Rab. Where would he go, buddy?
Yeah, Rab.
The Boston Breach, baby.
Boston Breach.
The Boston Breach.
Falcons Esports.
Falcons Esports.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe.
No. I think I would retire for the Falcon Esports.
Yeah, I mean, low key is not a bad. That's not a bad throw in the hat, honestly. But in terms of the CDL, like, I don't see what other landing spots he have. Boston Breach, we can joke about it, I guess, but, like, realistically, are they going to go spend the bag on Clay considering the year he had this year? The only org, again, to me that makes sense is Legion. Honestly, I
don't think Clay is the bag though.
You don't? What do you mean by that?
I don't think Clay was on Ravens. They're not paying Clay the bag. Like,
do you think Clay out of that roster is getting paid the most? I do.
Yeah, for sure. But, like, I wouldn't say that's the bag. The bag is like what, like top 3 teams, top 4 teams would be on. But, and we're talking like Boston hasn't got Clay money. Like, come on now, they would want. If there was one player to help Snoopy out, like the way. And I'm not saying that Snoopy's close to Shotzi when he played on when Clay was playing with Shotzi, but if there was one player to try and help Snoopy out, if Slasher couldn't do it, they got to go with Clay, and if Clay can't do it, then it might be a lost cause.
Okay. Let's peep this clip. I just want to, chat was talking about it. I saw it on the TL as well. Clay gets honest about wanting to compete in Black Ops 6. Let's just peep this clip real quick and give our final thoughts after we hear it.
I'm not trying to call it, bro. It's BO6. It's Treyarch. I actually want to play this year. I was trying to just make it to another Treyarch game. I want to play so bad next year. So bad. Would I ever compete in challengers? I mean, I will play the first month of the game regardless if I'm on a team or not, just for like S&D tournaments. Like I'll play on a challenger team and stream all our scrims and do all this. If I'm streaming full time, I will play the first month of the game regardless. If I'm gross at it and a team is like, yo, like I'm not gonna say no. So it all depends, bro. I'm playing the game for sure though. I want to play BO6. We'll see.
I do want to comment on the fact that Clay, even during our podcast, which now is more than a year ago, like the exclusive podcast I did with Clay, he said himself that he didn't want to retire until he won a chip, not a ring, but like a chip, and he wanted to make it to a Treyarch game. He liked them so much more, which I think is pretty much a shared opinion amongst most people in the community. He wanted to just get to a Treyarch game and win a chip, and then that's when he felt like he would probably call it. What do you think about that? What do you think about him wanting to come back, him wanting to play? Would a challengers team play with Clay? 32-year-old playing with cracked 19-year-olds?
Clay did talk about that, to be fair, like how difficult it is managing those relationships with players that are so much younger. I just think there are some options out there for Clay. The issue is that like the end of the year was pretty underwhelming for him individually. The ideal case scenario really is like Champs ends, Thieves get like bopped out of the tournament, and they think, you know what, maybe Clay to Thieves could be an option. I don't think there's any real world they're going to think about this, but like that's the ideal scenario for Clay, because then, Thieves have some cash, they could lock it down reasonably early on. They'd keep a similar team going through the World Cup and the start of the regular season, and it's just less stress. But you look at some of the other organizations in a similar boat, and none of them really make that much sense for Clay. But obviously I want to still see him competing, right?
Okay. Gursh, any thoughts on Clay? Final thoughts here?
I don't think he really finds himself back on a team until after EWC, because this transition between like post champs and EWC is just going to be people still tweaking about like what's happened this season, knowing we're on the same game. I agree with you guys though. I see him really fitting into a team for next season if it's the kind of mentality where they either have a spot for him or they want him to pick and choose who they're building around. But obviously it's going to take a full like off-season reset type of deal, and maybe it's one of those teams heading into BO6.
Boston.
I also don't see him playing challenges, bro. Like it's a toxic environment to be in, bro. Like I know he said he would, and he probably would play it for a month until like team changes start happening, and his teammates just randomly go, "Oh, Clay, I've been offered by this guy. See you later, buddy. You're playing with this guy and this guy now." And I think Clay's just, in my opinion, too old to be dealing with that shit. This guy's a multiple world champion. Like, he doesn't deserve that sort of disrespect. Like it happens to everyone. Like no matter who you are.
Absolutely. But I hope Clay gets a team again. Like I said, LAG, Boston, Vegas, top 3 destinations, and then Ben said maybe 100T. I don't know what possibility there is there. Long shot, but hey, there it is. Jumping ahead a little bit here, I know this has been something that's been on a lot of people's minds. And a lot of questions on Friday when me and Trey were doing our 27.5 episode. This is a big point that people kept hopping in the chat to discuss. A screenshot emerges of Accuracy in the team chat with OpTic. Could Accuracy be coaching OpTic for champs? Question mark, eyes emoji. We have JP, Accuracy, a big fan, I think is maybe probably Damon. I'm going to assume is Damon. Dashy, Kenny, Pred, Shotzi. What do we think, boys? Rab,
you tell us, bro.
No way Ace no way Ace joined the call and changed his name to Accuracy. I'm in tears. What a fucking clip. What a clickbaiter, man. This guy's a loser.
Hey, man.
This guy's crazy doing this shit.
Anything for the drama. You know how it is. You gotta get these clicks, gotta get Tactical Rab some views. We gotta do what we gotta do.
Well, for starters, just like all 3 of us said, why are you asking for our opinion first, big dog?
Listen, okay, man. All I know, Lamar's not. He's not here, right? He's not here, and I'm gonna just say my opinion that I think OpTic's been struggling. They've clearly Major 4 has been a tough time for them. I think no matter how you look at this, Lamar is one of those guys that inside the game, outside the game is always looking to make his teammates better, knows the game really well. And Ken and Pred had you guys can debate this, but I think the best version of Kenny we ever saw was on TK. I think the best version of Pred we've ever seen was on Seattle. And Lamar is definitely a part of that, enables them, knows the game, gets them in their best spots. So I think it just, if this is true, if it's not true, it would make a lot of sense for someone like Lamar to help out OpTic, whether, just overall.
Well, Trey, what are you going to say?
Nah, I just saw Gursh put in the chat. Yeah, like you said,
he's there, bro.
I mean, he is there. He was in here earlier yapping about the ASOS and some F1 tickets.
Obviously, end of the day, like, Lamar's not a champs, and OpTic do look like need some help. I think it is a little bit different because when Lamar played with these people, he did enable them a lot different to how someone else would enable them, towards coaching. Coaching, it's obviously hard for him to be on the map and enable people like he enabled Pred and Kenny. I mean, they just came off a win at Major 3 and just had like one of the worst stages I think OpTic have ever had ever. So I don't think getting any extra help is going to be an issue for them. I don't think anyone should look at this and be like, I think people should look at this with a positive outlook. And Lamar's a very smart guy, a smart teammate, a very, very good teammate. And I think OpTic fans, if it is true, don't know why it'd be in Discord if it wasn't, but if it is true, I think you guys should be happy that they're actually actively going out of their way to get more help to become better. So you guys stop roasting Dashy for playing Valorant and, look forward to hopefully this team being a better team for champs.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Go on, guys. You go first. No.
Rab, you go ahead, Rab.
Okay, I'll go ahead.
My goat.
My perspective is that this coaching setup has always been very interesting for OpTic. We've seen this over the last couple of years, where you look at the subliners coaching stuff, you look at the FaZe coaching stuff, you look at the, let's say, Toronto coaching stuff, and OpTic haven't really had the same strength in depth ever since Sender left, pretty much. Like Sender goes after the Cold War season, obviously Rambo comes in, and there's drama there, Rambo's gone, all these things are going on. JP comes in, he's the stats guy. Is he going to be telling the guys how to play, what the rotation should be looking like? That's not really how it's going to be. He can do some element of that, but not on a level that the players are really going to think, especially if the players are having problems. This is the thing. Clearly, the team isn't all on the same page. They've got to find someone who can help them get back on the same page from like a mentality perspective. And I think that's the key reason why I really like what OpTic are doing here, if this turns out to be true, is that, and I can't see how it's not true, at least in some part, is like Karma knows the game very well. Now, okay, he hasn't competed on this particular title, but the question was always when Karma became the coach, that sure, from an in-game perspective, Karma's going to be fantastic. Knows the game like the back of his hand, one of the smartest players ever. He's always going to give good advice on where you misplayed a situation, what you got to do about it. But is Karma the guy? If the chemistry's broken down, if this guy isn't seeing eye to eye with this guy, is he the guy to resolve that situation? Like, I don't personally think he is. And this is why you need someone on board who is maybe more adept with that skill set to come and help the team, which is obviously where Accuracy is, in many ways, the absolute perfect man for the job. We know he's got the experience with Kenny. We know he's got the experience with Pred, what he's done for those guys in the past. And if it's just speculation on my part about the whole Pred and Kenny dynamic, but if there's any issues there, Accuracy is the absolute guy to come in and help that situation. So I'm just interested to see how this looks for the longer term. I think this is a cool decision in the short term. I just wonder, if this goes well, what happens with Lamar, right? Like, is he thinking, okay, I'll come back and play next year? Or OpTic thinking, what, Lamar will bring you on a further basis, but what does that mean for Karma? Like, really interesting questions out of all this, but that's kind of my initial perspective. Go on, Gursh. I yapped for a long time.
No, you're good, bro. I just want to go out and say it. Like, I don't think there's any questions. I feel like 100% Lamar, at least for right now, is coaching OpTic, because here's the thing. As someone who does a bit of trolling myself, if I'm going to pick any player to, change my Discord name to and, mess around with for a screenshot, there's so many other, more clickbaity people out there besides Lamar. So I feel like just lock it in, bro. OpTic Lamar. Waiting for the announcement.
I will say, someone put it in the chat earlier. Industry plant.
Yeah.
He's never coached before, and he just randomly spawns up an industry plan. I agree. Never coached anyone before and just magically becomes an OpTic coach. It's a joke.
The Abedi Institution of Industry Plants. First it's me, then it's Lamar. How we doing it, baby? Let's go.
What has CoD Esports become, man? You don't even need a coach to become a coach anymore. It's a joke, man. It's a joke.
Dude.
Question, though.
What's up?
A lot of the criticism on OpTic this year has been towards Pred. If OpTic don't win champs and they drop Pred, do you think they keep Lamar?
We're not even.
I mean, I love this speculation.
Speculation, I guess, but
I like this.
You know
this
what?
Is what gets the people going.
I'm gonna hit against this from the basis of your question. How about that? I don't think there's a world where Pred gets dropped next year. How about that? He's too valuable of a player generally, even the criticism, whatever. I think his teammates would tell you his value as a player and to the momentum and confidence of that team. Maybe not for Major 4, but in general, at least 1, 2, and 3, online, in person, the vibes, all that. I think they've won a major as well. I don't think you can chalk up the experiment in 1 year with someone that's that valuable and has brought that much value to his teams prior and his team this year. He got a chip for you. Why would you drop him this fast?
I don't agree with this take.
I don't agree either.
I don't agree with this take because anyone at any moment can be fucking dropped. I don't care how good you are, what you've done for the year. Anyone at any moment can be dropped, especially with the way their year has, like, they went from Major 3 on the biggest high to the biggest low. Okay. And champs is all dependent. If they win it, if they don't win it, someone's gonna go.
Yeah.
And it could be any of them bar Shotzi, in my opinion.
It's a fair
so let's say theoretically OpTic crash out of champs, whether it's T3, whether it's T8, whatever, and you're Hector Rodriguez, right? I want you to put yourself in his shoes. He's probably wearing some fancy ass Nikes, right? You're sitting there off season, you get a call. You hear a familiar voice. Hello, Hector? It's me, Hydra. I want to join. Like, you got to think, bro. Pred's a very high value player, which definitely validates his spot right now. But what if a player with an even higher proven value wants to join OpTic? Makes you think, brother. Makes you think.
Oh, here come the shades.
Listen, brother. I've been living in the facility in downtown Dallas. We're going back to the Hex quarters. It's the vibes. We're going to get over there with the vibes, okay? Listen, Hydra and Scrap. Listen, okay, let me get out of character, man. Okay, character was fun. But listen, Hydra and Scrap, I've said this 1,000 times. They are not available, okay? They are not available. NYCL just won an event. Hydra's not going anywhere. Toronto won an event. He's too valuable to the team. They're not releasing these guys. For the bags that they're getting, no team is going to be like, okay, bye-bye. See you, Scrap. See you, Hydra. We have to come to some reasonable thoughts. So 2 parts there. That's one. Those guys aren't available. Secondly, who would you replace Pred with if those guys aren't available? There's nobody in the market. So realistically, again, I know people are really this recency bias shit. Gotta go. The guy is still unbelievable. I've shown the stats, the numbers. He's still, 6th or 7th in the league in overall KD with a 0.97 in S&D. So he's being dragged down by his S&D, yet he's still in the top 6 players in the league in KD. The numbers don't lie. People do. Pred is not going anywhere on OpTic. If anything, if anyone was to go on this team, honestly, it has to be the guy who's only won, 2, 3 chips in 6 years, 5 years. That's who has to go, in my opinion, right? That's, if you look at the schematics, different games, Treyarch games, Sledgehammer games, this game, that game, how many chances can you give somebody? And that's no disrespect. Again, numbers lie. Numbers don't lie. People do.
You're talking about Bruce?
I said what I said.
He's talking about Bruce.
My fault.
I mean, okay, let me ask you this question as well. So let's say this team does crash and burn out of the champs as we talked about. Who has the keys? Now, obviously, we're going to say Shotzi. Okay. But it can't just be one person, right? Like, if you're Hex and you're trying to figure out what to do with the team, who do I talk to say, okay, this is what we're going to do? Especially if there's a new coach on board. Because, like, respectfully, I think JP is great, but I don't think JP has much of a say in that type of discussion. So the question then is, all right, are we talking to Dashi as like a veteran OG, but obviously he's been dropped before, and there's questions on that. Has Kenny earned the respect of, I mean, even like from Hex's point of view, has Kenny like earned it to basically be the guy with Shotzi to be like, okay, we're going to be the team of two and we're going to figure what to do from here? But
it's an inside job.
You know, makes you wonder what's happening over there. And of course, with Accuracy coming on board,
it's an inside job.
With Karma,
it's an inside job. Lamar's making Bruce play bad, and he's going to take over his spot next year. It's an inside job.
Oh my god, the dog sent to Martin strat.
Yeah, it's an inside job. It's been plotted, ployed, and planned, and now it's being executed. And Ace is the forefront of it.
And I'm the real coach.
Oh my god, the Accuracy Kenny duo returns to OpTic in 2025.
There we go. We figured out the truth, boys. I didn't know what happened, but damn, we got to the bottom of it.
An inside job. These are beddies, man. These fucking
the Abedi Institute's going crazy in the Call of Duty World League, or the Call of Duty League. We're doing what we got to do. But again, I think overall, just going back, kind of bringing it back to the topic. Damon, doesn't play that much. JP's more of an analyst. You got someone who's been playing all year. Clearly, big guys have played with him. They trust him. Bring him in. If he's doing this for this team, big W. He's had the whole year to play. I mean, I'm sure he'll share strats from the year if that's the case. It's going to be I think it's a big thing for OpTic. I think if OpTic turn around big time here, who knows? Who knows what happens with the future for Accuracy if it's real?
No Minnesota S&D strats, Lamar. We'll rerun some new ones, man. We can't get no Minnesota S&D
See,
strats.
I don't like this disrespect out of you. When Linz is over there with the top 4 KD in all of S&D in the game. I don't appreciate this disrespect out of you, Trey Zero. I don't appreciate disrespect out of you.
They could have got S&D.
The Abedi Institute has the green wall behind us, Trey. You want the smoke? We'll give you the smoke. I don't want to hear this no more. All right,
there's not a single motherfucker that smoke me.
This is crazy, bro. This guy's gonna be in the OpTic camp. His ego's gonna be out of control, Trey.
It's gonna be insane.
I know, bro. Look, how many times did we say Minnesota sucked at S&D, Reb?
That was their only good game mode. How did they suck at S&D? That was their only good game mode. That was their
Lynn's hard carry them.
Ben in the chat. Wait, hold up. They were good at Surge, just as at hardpoint and control. I'll be honest. That was their only one. What are you talking about? Okay, this is not even a topic. ROKKR is not even going to champs. Slammed. My own blood. Slammed. Okay, let's go to attach on this OpTic Accuracy thing. Just want to hear it from a different perspective of just hearing what he has to say. Want to add that in here before final thoughts. Then continuing on to Roster-mania and some of these other things we've heard kind of in the mist. And also, just to hype some people up that are here, 550 people. Thank you guys for being here. Insane stream already. We do have drama with Censor calling out me, Trey, Rab, and Gursh directly. So before we get into that, let's watch this clip, finalize our thoughts on the potential of OpTic Accuracy, and then we're going to jump into Boston Breach and Doug calling us and this show and us individually all out one by one. So don't go anywhere. After this OpTic talk, there is some drama to discuss.
And when he plays, he's already coaching when he's playing. So I think he's a great pickup for a coach. Yeah, Lamar's just really smart. Breaks down the game really well. He's obviously teamed with Kenny and Pred before, so he's very comfortable with them. Honestly, probably the best Kenny and Pred we've seen has been when they were with Lamar. Kenny was the best player in the game in World War II, and then Pred was one of the best SMGs in the game when they played with Lamar. So I think they trust him a lot too. Thoughts on?
Yeah. Oh, so I'm gonna say from all four of us, just quickly to close this out. Oh wait, Trey has a face with this one. What happened?
Hey, she stole his flow, word for word, bar for bar.
You may have done that.
I ain't even seen it.
Okay.
I saw the noti. I saw the noti for this clip yesterday, and then I added it today. That was it. Overall, between us, the panelists here today, the co-hosts, and our special guest Gursh today, just to close this out, W or L, make it as simple as possible. Lamar potentially coaching OpTic for champs, maybe the future, we don't know. W or L? Rab, we'll start with you. W or L?
W for sure.
Trey?
W.
Gursh?
W. Lamar, I know you're in chat. I need 5 gifted right now. That OpTic check.
Work at you guys. Wanted to bring you on more.
Yeah, that's what. Yo, Gursh, that's what I'm saying.
And before I drop my answer, chat W or L. Put in the chat right now. If Lamar coaching OpTic is a W or L.
Before I drop my answer, as if we don't know what this guy.
Yeah, come on, bro. This guy was predicting
Lamar. If it's true, it's an amazing W. I think. I mean, again, talking to Lamar almost every day. The guy's a goddamn savant for COD. That's all I'm gonna say. When it comes to COD, when it comes to playing games, when it comes to how COD plays out, savant for the game. So if he's a coach, he plays next year, whatever happens, we need Lamar in the scene and to continue doing what he does. But now, we got our lineman cards. Before we hop into this censor drama, we got the official lineman breaking point cards for Boston Breach.
Wow, look at these.
80 for Brother Beans.
But that's an 86 before the adjustment. Like that's
typical.
Yeah,
it is actually 86 for the adjustment. Wait, we're not gonna say with the adjustment. We're not playing this cheese, but 86.
Yeah, okay, it's cheese, but like you know what I'm saying.
68 for Snoppy, 52 for Priesta,
not even,
and a 49 for Major Maniac. 1 in 10 in hardpoint, 3 in 7 S&D, 2 in 6 in control. And I mean, one of these is a series against OpTic, basically. So these wins, most of them are against OpTic. So any shocks, any surprises, any reactions to these cards? Whoever can start this one, I guess. Gursh, any surprise to that?
Not really. Personally, I still believe in Snoopy, but that's just like on a one-to-one thing. This team as a whole, though, I don't believe in, never, and I never will. As someone who comes from the trenches of the New York subliners, I have 2 words to summarize my thoughts, and it's fuck Boston. Feel me?
Absolutely. So, I mean, no shock here. Again, Major Maniac's stats here. Is 49 is that one of the lowest cards we've ever seen? I think it is, right?
Yeah, what was Asim's again? Was it 48 Asim had? On after his stint on Paris, I think it might have been.
Yeah, Asim was 48. So like Major Maniac's just outdoing Asim in terms of stats, and his stats don't even look as bad, to be honest. Like, they don't 1.04 at hardpoint. Like,
no, it's just no engagements for it. Like I mean, look at the damage and engagement to 10. It just doesn't exist.
Yeah, you can't.
Slow for kills, but
the stats actually mean nothing when it's based on per 10s.
Okay.
Like. That's why some AR cards are higher than others, because they'll have like a 0.98, but their interactions will be high, so it means they're doing more on the map compared to someone who's got really low interactions with a better KD.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why Lionman gave me bad cards back in the day, but I was just doing what was needed to do to win. But it's okay, Lionman. It's
you can actually find the Burger King card here. Actually, I can just.
No. Last time we done this, man, we had Ace fucking.
I mean, look, Lionman made it for a reason, so I feel like.
Don't worry, I have no problem with it. I know the guy.
You remember the last time we done this?
Oh my God, here you go, Trey, bro.
Right,
no,
Ace is like so tight about this.
I just like I'm friends with the guys, man. I hate to see him on the burger card, but I said this. The way BP put it out was a little hectic. I said at least if we're gonna put it out, make it funny. This is better than what it was, so I'm a happy camper, all right? We found the middle ground to make it at least kind of funny. Burger King employee Mike looks stellar in his crown. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, like it was worth a try. It's just funny how it works, right? Because it was brought in to be like the S&D wizard or whatever, and their S&D was still just as bad, and he had a 0.7, so it's pretty rough. But it is what it is. Like the team was chalked, so I don't really blame him too much. I think I know there's been talk about why Priester hasn't been getting like more criticism or whatever, just because he's a world champ, right? Like the team was meant to be one of the talisman, certainly after Slasher left, but I don't know. From as far as I'm aware, I think Priester was trying his best. Like I think Priester was doing what he could to try and make it work, swapping roles. He just weren't that good at this game.
That's what I was saying to my streamer. Like, do you not like they were talking about Priester and how bad he's been. I was like, well, yeah. And then at the end of the year, they say, oh, we're picking up Mike, who, in my opinion, wasn't needed for the team in that aspect. And then was like, yeah, Priester, let's whack you in a sub for the last 7 matches. Like, fuck me. Yeah, the guy's not going to be able to fucking shoot. Like, let's be honest. He's just gone from playing a slow main AR all year to yo, go run with Snoopy. Like, what do you want him to do with that?
Go fucking bait for Snoopy, basically. It's a terrible role. Yeah, I think Priest's Major 4 should definitely be taken with an asterisk on it because like what he's asked to do is definitely not very reasonable. Shout out to him for doing it for the team, but man, didn't go well obviously except for a upset win against OpTic. But Boston Breach are going to the Esports World Cup. I know me and Trey reacted to this on Friday, but Rab and Gursh want to hear your guys' takes on this. The roster is likely to be Cammy, R-Cities, Purge, Snoopy. First reaction to this new Boston Breach dynamic roster?
Objection.
I
would like to present Article 4A to the court. New piece of evidence just dropped. So yesterday I tweeted a very funny, if I say so myself, Boston Breach meme, lighthearted, good humor. But just following that conversation, Doug DM'd me clarifying some details. Obviously, this is something that he wants to be clarified, so it's not like me just leaking a private convo. But he said he never put together, and you can pull it up too. He said he never put together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said he never put together any of those rosters for Breach, so he's not, making those shots. The rumored roster is not true. You feel me? He said he didn't say anything because they don't want to throw people under the bus, and it's kind of hilarious how they try to feed into that shit instead of taking accountability for themselves. Talking about obviously people, running the convos around Boston and trolling all that. Funny how opposite the internet looks at it. But also basically every team that happened was the opposite of what he wanted to see as well. Just a lot of BS in the timeline. Feel me? So Doug is not GM. And I think that's really what he's trying to clarify. People putting it all on him, saying, "Yo, Doug, you're faded," or even bringing up this roster, which he said isn't even true.
I have something to say though. I have something to say. So why did I have an argument with Doug about the new roster that was put together with Pentagram and Snoopy, and him basically putting forward these players or putting forward Pentagram and basically Snoopy on the roster and whatever like that? I'm not saying he's the GM. Oh, I did say that the other day actually. But if you want me to if you want me to rephrase it for you, Doug, in my opinion, and we spoke to Rab, me and Rab spoke a little bit before this, and Ace. Mm-hmm. It still didn't make sense why we had a whole hour and a half long argument over this if he didn't put forward any players.
And I mean, I'm going to add to that as well that we had also Austin Slasher kind of combating his points as well, suggesting otherwise included. If you're not the official GM, that's fine. But your say and move of adding, let's say, Pentagram and keeping Snoopy to the roster, if your word has that much weight, then aren't you essentially a GM, right? I don't know how else you can put that besides you may not be the official one on paper, but if your word causes movements, then you're basically a GM. Or you're a consultant. What do you want to say?
I mean, doesn't he sit in scrims and stuff like that? Watch people's scrims like that.
That's what the sources said, but I don't know if that's actually true.
Yeah, I thought my source is pretty good.
Where's Slasher in the chat when you need him, man? Where's Slasher
anyone
in the chat when you need him?
Saying it's Schrodinger's Doug. This guy is simultaneously making the decisions and not making the decisions. That's kind of what I don't fully understand about this whole situation, is that this rumored roster has obviously come from somewhere. It also makes me wonder exactly how things have been dealt with over the last few months behind the scenes. The Pentagram move, obviously keeping Snoopy, all these other factors. I just want to know what's going on, because now Doug is saying, okay, this rumored roster ain't true. Okay. But it's obviously come from somewhere. So I'm like, who's making these decisions? Is it Doug? Is it Denz? Is it Zed? Do those guys even still exist anymore? I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, it must be chaos right now behind the scenes.
What happened if this? Go on, gosh.
Oh, I was gonna say, instead of questioning that, shouldn't we question where that information came from? Who the sources for that tweet saying this is a Boston Breach roster?
Yeah, that's my point. It's so if this gets announced, if this is real and it gets announced, why is Doug DM'd you?
Also, I mean, we brought this up on Friday as well, but I want to say about this roster that Purge also tweeted out. I'm gonna bring it up just so everyone can see it. Doug can technically say, and I'm not, this doesn't mean not discrediting Doug, but it is like Purge himself said this post, which is the one with the Cammy, the roster we just discussed, this post contains misinformation. So clearly Purge.
The implication here though was that apparently it's Penta, not Purge. That was the other rumor. But
well, it was if Purge wouldn't go on, if it wasn't Purge, it was Penta. So I'm gonna like the only thing that we can put 2 and 2 together is that it wouldn't be Purge now, it'd be Penta, because Purge is only replying because it's his name in there. You know what I'm saying? He's not. I doubt he's speaking for the other 2 or the other 3.
You know, that's where I'm kind of like, maybe Doug can say this roster is false, but Penta being on this roster, if that's true, makes the shadow GM accusations 10 times worse. Who else would put Penta on a roster again after the type of year he had? Who else? I mean, to be fair, also, our city's after the type of year he had. I don't know what he's doing on this roster. No shade, but like, I said this on Friday. It's like, this team combined this year, have probably under 10 wins for the entire MW3 season. Yeah. So Boston Breach, like, you're better off, honestly, like waiting for Challengers Champs to happen.
Just most of them, probably.
You're better off picking up the winner of Challengers Champs and saying, okay, we'll sign you guys to a short contract, come and play for us, go to EWC. They have a better chance, honestly, than, you know, statistically this team does to make any noise at EWC. So
that's what I think this roster would be. I think it would be like a 2-week thing. I feel like what Boston would do now is take like a good team from Challengers on a 2-week contract and just let them play there, and then fit Snoopy into that. Like, whoever their 4th is, take it out, put Snoopy in. That makes the most sense to me, and then hit the fucking re-game for the rebuild, unless they win EWC.
I mean, bro, that roster is like, they literally don't understand the assignment. Like, you know that you're meant to try and build a team to win, right? Like, do they get this? That the goal is not to create the worst possible team. Like, the goal is to create a team that's trying to win. Like, you look at that roster of 4, and as much as I like those guys, it's actually difficult to put together a worse team. Like, I have to really think hard to make a worse team than that. So, I'm just impressed, to be honest. It does make me wonder.
You've got Ben in the chat too saying, I think it's in classic Boston fashion. Someone over there is shooting from the hip, starting to have convos, but didn't tell Preston or Ben, which is insane.
That's like, the other point, actually. I didn't even talk about that tweet.
Yeah. Now, listen. If you speak to those 3 players, like, yo, keep it on the down low, but like, yeah, you're coming to Saudi with us. Yeah, you already know one of those motherfuckers being like, yo, boys, I'm going to Riyadh. We're locked in.
Yeah,
we are locked in.
Absolutely.
And this Scrim Intel tweet, basically what Ace has on screen now. I understand Censor is one of the people pushing for this roster and heavily involved in the last few months. Did we not hear this months ago?
It's not. That's the thing. It's not just us saying it. It's not just us. Like, other people, other sources who I'm sure have different sources than we do, are hearing it as well. So is everyone lying? But Doug is the only guy saying the truth? Is that the case?
Now, listen, I would like to say this, that organizations please talk to your contracted players before they find out on Twitter that they've potentially been dropped. Like, come on now. Like, these are contracted players on over 6-figure salaries. Like, let's start talking to people and being like, yo, we might not re-sign you next year. We might go to a tournament with a different team. We'll let you know. Instead of Priester replying to it, basically saying, oh, have I been dropped? And then he's got to speak to the owner and be like, yo, just saw this on Twitter. Is this true? And then he's like, shit, my bad. Yeah. Like, we didn't want you to find out this way. We were trying to go around it sneakily. But listen, everyone knows COD players, like,
Preston,
talk.
Well, this is awkward, huh? We're gonna have an awkward conversation today.
I mean, we all know that COD players talk. Like, as soon as they find a bit of information, don't tell anyone. Next thing you know, fucking your mum knows, and she's on Reddit because it's on there too. And for someone to say that I sound bitter, what do I have to sound bitter about?
Yeah, he was Trey wasn't on Boston. He don't give a fuck about Boston. There's nothing
I'm
bitter about
retired,
here.
baby. I'm retired, baby. I'm about to go champ, have a couple margaritas with the boys, and then fuck off to Italy for a month. I ain't got nothing to be bitter about.
Life is good. I mean, overall, again, I just maybe we have to get Censor on the show on a later date, but like, man, it's just crazy how from so many angles that's the case. Chat, before we continue on, and I want to continue on into actually what Doug said directly about us. We're gonna watch this clip about the specific drama that was said. But chat, this roster: Cammy, R-Cities, Pentagram, and Snoopy. W or L? Spam it in the chat right now if you think this roster is a W or L overall. Can they make noise at EWC? Let us know. But let's go over to this clip of Doug calling us out one by one by one. Everyone in this call was called out by name. Everyone in this.
Wait, me too?
You didn't hear it?
I got called out. The fuck?
You haven't seen this clip? I loved it.
I'm gonna let it be known that I will not watch a single one of these. I'll let you guys watch it, but if you think I'm having someone call me out because I've said that he's a shadow or a GM, you've got another thing coming. I've not cussed him out. I've not called him a cunt or anything like that. Like, I just said you're picking players, bro. Like, it ain't that deep, bro.
Let's take a peep here. Let's take a watch.
Talk to me privately. Message me like Gursh. Come on, man.
Everyone got to chill. Chill with this slander. Why so quiet? Everyone thinks that they know the best. They know everything. Their word is gospel. It's like, bro, stay in your fucking lane. And if you have a problem, you could just hit me up. You could tell me to my face, hey, bro, this is what I'm hearing. I'm going to say this shit about you. Is this true? Hey, bro, all signs point to you. Let's ask the person. No one's fucking hit me up. I haven't seen the flank DM me. Zuma text me. Gursh hit me up. Tactical Rab hit me up. CDL Scrim Intel hit me up. I haven't seen any of these motherfuckers hit me up, but they're all quick to fucking point fingers at me. And like, what the fuck are you guys doing? All signs lead to Doug. Breaking Point podcast. Trey Zero. Stocksman. Tactical Rab. CDL Intel Scrim. This, that. The flank. Sam Octane. Who's letting ball? Like, y'all got my phone number. I don't get a text from you. I don't get a call from you. I don't get any of you guys fucking asking me shit. You just take some story, you run with it, boom. Let me send it. Let me.
Okay. So that's the main clip. That's the one where he specifically calls out all of us in this call
and
the podcast. Trey,
just tell me when to go.
Gersh, I'm gonna have you start, and then we'll carry the torch. You know, we're running. Give us the baton afterwards.
All right. First and foremost, that's insane generalization. All right, because he's just naming names from the community, saying like these people are all pointing fingers at me. I don't really think there's been such a movement from like the individuals he named, at least as far as the flank goes. Especially me, like personally, bro. I'm sitting there tweeting. I'm not on the show. If I was, the takes on that show would be a lot better. You feel me? I'm just there tweeting one meme about Boston. Which, by the way, even if this roster isn't true, that tweet applies to Boston's whole season. All I said was Boston breach when we asked them to build a good roster, and it's a guy saying no, bro. All of your rosters this season have been ass, dog. Like, I don't give a fuck if it's EWC or if it's fucking Modern Warfare 3 Stage 1, bro. Like, ask me if I give a fuck. You feel me? Fuck Boston. But also, like, I don't know what beef Doug has with me because, like, I went out of my way today, not having seen that clip, to go and clarify that Doug is not GM. That Doug is not making these decisions. So if you're going to generalize and start pointing fingers at people that illicit of that fact are going to go and defend your name regardless, then I feel like it says more about you. And for that reason, once again, fuck Boston, you feel me? Type shit. Lamar, I need five gift again.
We're crashing out, dude, on this show. We're fucking crashing right now. Wait. Okay, so wait. We're going one by one here. We're going to order. Trey, call out by name. You were the one on Friday that brought up the thing that he was you heard he was a shadow GM or GM officially or whatever it was. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I saw that fly. That was a big ass fly, whatever that was.
That's called a daddy long legs. They
That
just be
thing
flying
was insane.
Mm-hmm.
Trey, what is your reaction to Doug calling you out by name?
I ain't listening to all that. Happy for you though. Sorry it happened. No. I respect that was a minute too long. Respectfully, everyone talks everything about the COD scene. We're all here talking about it. It's a show. Yeah, I'm sorry that I was an ex-professional player and that I heard from my sources, because now I work with Tactical Rab, that guy pays me the big bucks now, you know what I'm saying? So I got like sources and shit. So like, it's kind of cool. We've got leaks and that. Listen, we talk about the show. We talk about things, what people are saying. Yeah, I heard some things a few months ago. I heard some things like literally a few days ago, and then the CDL Scrimtail tweeted it out. Like that's literally it. Like we comment on things we see and hear, and that's it. Sorry you feel some type of way about it, but you know, we haven't come out here and roasted you at all. We just said that was it.
Okay. Tactical Rabito, what do you think, brother?
Yeah, so like Doug reached out to me in private as well and clarified a couple of things from his angle. I've got no issue with Doug. Like, I think he's a sound guy. I just think on this topic, when this type of stuff is talked about in the community, if I reach out to Doug for his perspective, I'm gonna get Doug's perspective. And you know, we've seen how that's gone in the past, where Doug comes on the show to give his perspective, and it's like, you know, it's like I've got to read between the lines on every angle anyway already. And the same is true for Doug's perspective also, because you know, some of the stuff that he said over the last couple of months, like it, trying to put the pieces together, it don't all add up. So,
Doug's here.
Doug is in the chat. Let's go.
Welcome to the chat.
Wait,
Doug.
is he actually? Yo, Doug, real quick.
He's beefing with Kaysen now. We're like,
yeah, they're beefing.
Doug. I'm gonna recreate this perfectly. I'm looking at COD Twitter. Fuck Ace. Fuck Rab. Fuck who else is on here? Trey. What you say fuck me for, bro? Like, I literally came on here and said Doug's not GM, dog. Like, Doug. I sat here and I stood on business and I cleared the air. Like I directly contacted you and said I would. You feel me? But
we dick sucking?
I mean, no. If you're gonna take shots at me, like I got a big hitbox already, so that's just free game. You feel me? Like,
I used to be like that.
All I'm saying is, again, we're media, right? We're media. We're here to talk about what happens, the sources, they say, this and that. We had you on the show, right? We spoke directly, and you said you put in your 2 cents about like Penta, for example, and all that. So again, like I said prior, and I'm gonna say it one more time, whether you are official by title something, or your word does cause movements and it's held, you know, holds its weight in gold, which it should. You are definitely of that organization the person who has the most experience in Call of Duty. So your word should hold some weight. I'm not disagreeing with that or disrespecting you generally. But the point is that you do have some say. That's all. Is Slasher here too?
Austin's in the chat, yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Keep it in house, guys. Come on. I just don't know why we're getting called out, me, you know, all of us, for talking about what the community's talking about. We didn't put this shit out. Scrimmentel did. And we're just taking it and mentioning what happened and everything that happened. So, Doug, if you felt some type of way, I would love to talk to you about it. But it's like, we need to talk about what's going on in the community. That's our job. That's our role. What do you want us to do?
Listen, I said it. I heard from some sources that Doug was closer enough to a GM. If it ain't true, it ain't true. But I report on it. I speak on it, not report on it. I ain't no news reporter, but I speak on it just like the community speaks on it, just like there's a big tweet about it. You know, that's how it is. Like, if it ain't true, you know, you come at me. I ain't do shit.
He said, if we want to speak silent, we can speak. He said, we can speak in private at any point. And if you have any questions, you guys reach out to me. And I stay silent for a reason. Not everything in life is about views. If it was, I wouldn't be involved in COD. It's not even about the view. Wait, to assume that we talk about this. Wait, just typically, I want to say this too, and everyone could disagree with me. To assume that we talk about this for the views, or like
new tweet in the chat.
New tweet in the chat. All right, I'll put it up. Here we go. To assume that we talk about this just for views, like me and Trey or Rab are sitting here before the show, and we're like, "Yo, boys, let's talk about Doug. Put this out there so we can clip it and get views." I swear that conversation is never happening, ever happening. It's just what comes up. Oh, CDL Tierlist said this random, this 4-man team that looks like it should not be going to EWC is formed, or said to be formed. We're going to comment on it. It's our job. What do you want us to do? I don't know. And CDL
bear in mind, just when I put it out there, that we genuine, like, if we were going to do shit for views, we would have trust me, we'd do it every single fucking week. All right, it wouldn't just be me and Ace were sat there last week like before our tier list, like, oh shit, like what we're gonna record today. You know, if we want to get views, trust me, we're like there would be a way to get views.
Yeah,
like, and it wouldn't be saying Doug's a GM.
I don't give a fuck about views. I've never been on a Flank episode. I've never been on a Breaking Point episode. The one time I've come on is today, and I texted Ace today saying I have more info about the Doug thing. Let me hop on and clarify. That's exactly what I did. In turn, I'm being shown clips of Doug calling me out by name for takes that I didn't even make because all I do is handle Twitter and not the actual show itself. Like, all good though. You feel me? All good.
Yeah. I don't know.
So love.
I feel like it's It's a little extreme.
So love.
Little extreme, but. I mean, CDL Scrimintel tweeted this just a sec. Is it brand new? This is brand new. So he's watching the show. He's watching the show as well.
Oh yeah, he's watching.
He's watching. Says stop the cap. So I don't know. I'm gonna reach out to Doug after the show. Doug, if you are still here, I will reach out to you. I'm gonna DM you, and I would love to get on a phone call and talk to you directly, off stream, off everything. No views involved, nothing. Just talk to you directly. And if we have to bring it back to another episode, where next week or Friday, whatever you want to come on and talk directly after our conversation, again. Open forum. It's not for the views. Just clarify for the community. That's all I'm saying. Jumping ahead off of this Boston stuff, we do also have this from CDL Scrimintel as well. Lins and Gunless are seemingly a team of 2 on Minnesota ROKKR for the Esports World Cup and will now be looking for 2 new players to complete the roster. We also saw a Reddit post along with this on Friday that Beans was potentially a name in the box that was going to be added to this team of 2. Me and Trey already kind of gave our takes on Friday. Rab and Gursh, I would love to hear what you guys think about Lins, Gunless, Beans, +1 potential.
I mean, I feel like of the couple of rosters we've looked at, this is the one that actually makes a bit more sense in terms of the decision making. We talked about this multiple times. You can have one of Lins or Standy. I mean, it really should have been one the entire season with Vivid there as well. It is what it is. Lins to stay makes the most sense. You can have one of Gunless or Lamar, and Lamar's busy getting the OpTic bag. So, you know, you got to think this is the way to do it. I know there was talk about Beans, which is kind of funny just because, like, I mentioned it in a video, Gunless and Beans. It didn't even cross my mind about, like, the fact that they have a tier 4 beef, you know? Like, they have the lowest tier beef in the CDL, but they do have beef.
D-tier beef, yeah.
Could you imagine like they're on main stage and Ben's like, dead, and he's like, shut the fuck up, Ben. Like, you've shot him in the back, bro. Like,
right, go back to challenges and shit.
Yeah, they start arguing mid-match. Like, I would like to. Speaking of this, there is a world where I would love to see Slasher and Ben Beans. I'd love to see that in a realm of possibility.
I think we got robbed of it on Boston. You know, like
I think we did. I would have loved to have seen that duo too. But yeah, I fully agree with you. Lins and the Standy duo just wasn't working. Just too slow. The whole team was just too slow. I feel like the roster moves they made just didn't benefit the. You know, Lins was doing well at the start of the year. They pick up Standy, then you know it's just he's a slower sub. Standy's a slower sub. Lamar's a slow AR. Gunless is a slow AR. Like I don't feel like they benefited each other. So hopefully with this new roster move or supposed roster move for the EWC, it turns out a lot
Breaking news in the chat and a very clear message. Austin Slasher says, I will play next year. Just want to put that out there. Clarified 100% in the chat from Slasher. We will see Slasher
Falcons
in
Esports.
BO6. There it is. Falcon Esports Slasher.
Told you.
No, it'd be amazing. Again, Austin, would love to see you back on. Definitely, in my opinion, you got hoed this year. So, be good to see you back in BO6. You've won in Treyarch games, so need you back on a roster ASAP, Rocky. And man, if you want to drop some more intel, are you going to EWC or something? Like, what's up, bro?
Well, that's a good point, huh? Because you got to think that some of these teams looking for a rebuild, they might need to think about the short or the longer term as well. So, yeah, good to hear from Slasher. I mean, obviously it's inevitable, but
I fear Austin and Censor beef has stopped Austin on the old Boston breach.
Oh, you don't think Slasher's going back to Boston?
You don't think they're running it back?
Well, he did say on stream that he would join Boston if they gave him the keys.
I mean, I'm thinking Slasher. You know, I'm thinking Slasher, Snoopy.
Too late.
Capsador, and Doug. I think.
No, that's insane, bro.
Yeah,
Censor on the SMG with Snoopy.
Austin just threw his ace hat in the gym when you heard that.
Hell no.
He just threw his A's hat at the fucking treadmill. He said, "Fuck this shit. I'm not playing next year."
Austin
Man.
says an absolute.
Okay, so there's 11
no.
teams that Austin could join next year.
I gotta be GM, team captain, shadow GM, everything. Jesus. Holy shit.
I know Austin's just fucking giggling to himself right now, drinking a fucking Doc P, having a laugh. I love Austin, man.
Austin, let it go, man. Okay, well, Minnesota, man, we'll see exactly what they do, but apparently, you know, we might see Gunless and Lins and some of the familiar faces and Beans on this roster. Again, over the next couple of weeks, again, everyone's working preparing for champs, off season for some people. We're gonna see updates. I'm sure some stuff may be true, maybe false. We might see updates, new people. It's basically Roster-mania starting all over again, getting Tactical Rab's pockets greased up early this year. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it.
Well, low-key kind of ours now.
I mean, it's the boys get in the bag, baby.
The boys get in the double bag this year. The post-champs bag and then the post-EWC Roster-mania bag. I will be there.
Super, thank you for the Prime sub. And also, Kazon, I saw it before. Thank you for the Prime or Tier 1.
We did have someone at the start of the stream, I'm pretty sure, as well. I can't, like, it might be on your feed. I think his name was Biggie or something like that. Came in with a Tier 1. I might be faded.
Biggie, well, appreciate you, Biggie, as well. And just watch out a couple before we get to our
Superkins with the Prime.
Yeah, before we get our champs bracket, we're going to shout out some of these first-time chatters real quick. Metal said, how's the team? Lins, Gunless, Nero, and Ghosty. What do we think about that team?
Where the fuck's he getting Ghosty from?
Not sure, but I mean, he just threw it in there. So, I mean, I'm gonna show some love to that. Italian Guap says, a lot of news today, ... Hey, man, a lot of drama, a lot of news. We thought the offseason was going to be slow, but instead, it's carrying, man. It's carrying forward.
OpTic Denny with a Tier 1.
OpTic Denny, shoo!
Wait, is that the motherfucker that makes? Is that OpTic Denny the motherfucker that makes like with the dashy memes and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's the one and only.
Guys,
that's a fucking funny. That's a good guy there, man. That's a good fucking guy.
Absolute legend. First time Travis Slazy. Min needs Vivid back. All right.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, right? Like, I was going to, ask that question to you guys. Like, if you are this ROKKR team, let's say you are getting Lins and Gunless in, who's your Lin's partner? Because it did legit work with Vivid for a stage, and Accuracy was doing well, but Awakening was like absolute burger towning, and they still got top 4. So you got to think that maybe the Lin's Vivid run it back isn't the worst idea ever, but at the same time, depending on what offers Vivid gets, maybe you could think of something else. Like if you're going to the Esports World Cup, do you think maybe you get somebody else in alongside Lin's to see if that works? And then if it doesn't work, maybe you try and get Vivid after the Esports World Cup and run back a similar-ish team.
I will say it's someone that I want to see them wait for challengers to conclude and see maybe pick up someone from maybe the winners of that if possible. But overall, if I had to pick someone out the hat right now, this second, like just smooth, I think I would honestly, people may think I'm faded in the chat, but considering how slow Lins plays and how his playstyle kind of works, I like a capsule on that team. Very fast. Bang, head basher, head banger, and then you have the cleanup crew in Gunless and Lins to pick up the kills. You need someone that's gonna bang it out, run in there, get 1, get 2, maybe put some damage in someone, and another guy to come in there after him and clean it up. That's someone I like.
Quick question, I guess, on this. Just you can go, Trey. I'll go after.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I feel like that, like, obviously this is an event worth a lot of money. But I feel like this is a perfect opportunity to take someone that's frying in challenges, see how he performs at a pretty big event. And if he fries, guess what? You ain't battling with no one because you can just sign him right there and there. You ain't battling with no other team. Just like, yo, we got a nice contract for you. Come sign with us. I feel like that's a good thing to do.
Honestly.
Sorry. I'll go ahead, Gursh. Go ahead.
Well, I feel like Ben and I are gonna get the same thing, but I don't think it matters. Like, no shade, no tea to Lins, Gunless, Beans. I fuck with all of them, but honestly, I look at this team and I think again, FaZe Black or Omen EU could wipe the floor with them. Like, it's not looking very exciting.
The question that I was gonna have is
no.
I mean, when you guys put together your tier list and everything of players, one of the ones that was at the top that didn't make the World Championship was Nero, right? And I think for very good reason. And we know how these organizations operate, like Ravens. I guess Clay was on a decent contract. They've just called it a day so they get to save a bit of cash. Vegas typically do the same thing, although we haven't seen them do that yet. Maybe they take this roster to World Cup and then they drop them all to save a bit of cash for a couple of months. I don't know. But realistically, if you play for a poverty org, anyone is gettable. And I think Nero just was so impactful this year. And obviously, like, he made some mistakes. Like, we pointed them out. That invasion one was bad. It is what it is. But on average, Nero is one of the most impactful SMGs in the league. It's been that way for now a couple of years. You got to think a better team looks at him. Like, I would be surprised if Nero is still on Vegas next year. Like, there's no way they would, like, say, oh, no, we don't want to bring you back. It's more like, does somebody else want him? And it's the same thing you're saying with, like, Linz here. So if you get a good leader, Linz and Nero could be quite a...
Are you thinking for next year or are you saying EWC? Sorry, Trey. Sorry.
I'm saying EWC next year. Like, you know, someone needs to get Nero on the team is what I'm saying.
Okay. We got one jour CoD coming in first time chat. Obviously, I think he's a French fan too, just from the name. He's saying about Cobra, like, visas ain't no issue right now. Like, after champs, visas ain't an issue. So if you really did want to see, like, Abuser with Cobra or Brezzy Cobra Abuser, you know, if they don't, you know, if they want to bring someone in for champs, someone like Twiz, Cobra, you know, even one of the EU guys like Hixie, who's had an issue getting onto teams. I know Ben's had some shouts to get on teams this year, but that fell through because visa is always an issue. I'm telling you, man, like, maybe this is the tournament where they pick someone up, like, now, because this is, like I said, it's not a new game. This is, like, straight after champs, you know. So some of these players that, you know, you think will be in the league next year might even just get a shot at EWC just because.
I do like the Cobra shot a lot, actually. I think one of these, bringing him to EWC is a chance to test team chemistry out with some of these guys, see if their comms are on point, see how good his English is. There's, like, you know, few possibilities here. And I like Cobra as a player. I mean, I watched him play in Miami. I've watched him play online in some of these tournaments. I think he's worthwhile to look at. I'm not sure I'm not sure about everyone else, but Cobra definitely just if you look at some of the numbers, some of the maps he's had in challengers, I think taking a chance on him for EWC and seeing what his potential could be would be worthwhile for some of these teams. Maybe even some of these bottom orgs. Who knows? Maybe even that Ravens team. You know, you don't have Clay, throw Cobra at that bitch. Someone can get a kill. Fuck it.
I think he probably does get a spot this year, to be fair, just given what happened with the Awobabobs guys last year, like what they were all up to nowadays. And obviously he's been cooking as well in European challenges, so it does make a lot of sense. Just excited to see what these guys come up with before the World Cup, really, just because, like, we've only got... Okay, I mean, maybe they won't confirm it until after champs. And that's the other thing, like, if you are one of these teams that's not at the World Championship in Dallas, yes, you have more time to prepare your World Cup team, but also you don't have access to the players that are currently competing at champs, right? Like, there's some players that are going to be at champs that might get bopped at first round. Like, you know, you might want to try and pinch Estriel off Gorillas or something, right? So, yeah, I'm excited for this. Champs predictions coming up in just a couple of seconds, Glitch. Do not worry.
Yeah, well, that's no, you didn't miss anything. That's our next thing to talk about. And I think, I mean, let's just jump to it. I mean, there's pretty much just...
I think we do it now.
Yeah, Cobra with Land. Yeah, I mean, first-time chatters, we appreciate everyone that came in today. All the new chatters, we crossed 600 today, so appreciate everyone popping in the stream today. It's been very, very good stream overall. Yeah, here's our pick'ems for the championship bracket. The perfect bracket. Such a beautiful logo. I like this COD Champs little 2-eye thing going on here.
How much do we win if we get it right again? Do they have a cash this year?
Like 10K? 15K?
It used to be 100K for the perfect bracket, but I think they ran out of money.
Broke. Okay.
Yeah, they had to take some money out of challenges to put it towards the pro league as well.
Mm-hmm.
Broke ass. They ain't got the tat rab pay. Let's just say that.
They don't got
Let's
it.
just say that.
So round one, winners round one officially set. We have Atlanta FaZe versus Miami Heretics. What are our prediction, boys and girls? What do we got?
Okay, they played back at Major 3. Heretics won a map, and they lost the other ones.
I think so. I think repeat 3-1. That's my prediction. Anyone else? 3-1.
I'm going straight 3-0.
3-0. Gursh.
I'm gonna say no jinx. Actually, full jinx. I got Miami winning 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
I like that from you.
Rab 3-1.
Like
yeah, 3-1. I think is fair. Lock it in.
Okay. Next match. We have New York Subliners versus Seattle Surge.
Listen, like Sib correct me if wrong.
Here we go again.
Doesn't Sib fry before on LAN?
He does.
He has, yeah, very badly.
Unfortunately, he is no longer little man. He has beat the accusations. He is now above 6 foot. He is no longer a nugget, according to Ace. Lock him in for a 3-0.
Oh shit! Okay, 3-0. Gursh, what do you think?
I don't think Sib's losing to 04 on LAN. I got New York winning. I'm gonna say maybe like 3-1.
Tactical Rabito.
I think one thing you got to look at here was quite interesting for these games is that everyone has known who they're playing for like 2 weeks now. So obviously there's a lot of prep you can do, which I think helps some teams, hurts other teams. I think in the case of, like, Rambo's going to do a good job of that, but I also think New York are going to do a very good job of that. So when it comes a little bit more down to like prep and coaching staff and these other things, I think New York always have a bit of an edge on most teams. So my feeling is, go on, Trey.
That's only if he tweets, though.
That's true. Let me do a little Rambo tweet check.
Like if he doesn't tweet, like I just don't, you know, whenever he tweets, they play a lot better.
That is true.
Champs is only 3 days.
Last tweet was on the 1st of July. I think it does not start Thursday. I thought it started Thursday.
Thursday, Friday, and then ends on Saturday?
Nah, I mean, ends Sunday, obviously. Like, let's be real.
I don't...
They'll just have the one grand finals on Sunday, right? Like, Sunday is just grand finals.
Yeah, you need to stretch the thing along.
I don't... I'm good. Hey, listen, Trey. I'm good with stretching things, but I don't see any way to stretch this.
It'll be the same as last champs.
Oh, right here. There it is. There's the tab. Okay, now I'm stretching it out. I got it. I'm good at this.
Bro, fucking stretch it, bro. Like I told you, man.
I know. I'm learning. I'm just a young pup learning to stretch it out.
Okay. Sorry about this, guy. She's a terrible producer. Honestly,
I don't know what I'm hearing right now.
Whole show, no problem, seamless, beautiful movements, and now I get this fucking caca. Riley, first time chatter says FaZe is winning. First time chatter. Kraft says 3-0 FaZe. First time chatter QD Manny says, hey brother. What else we got? Okay. Zach.
All I'm saying is New York are taking this.
New York 3-0. I'm saying 3-0.
I wouldn't say a 3-0. Nope. I mean, I love a little 3-1.
After major 3 win.
My MVP Hydra is not losing to Seattle Surge. That's all I'm saying.
Sib beating the low man accusations. Like, this guy's slamming, dude.
Toronto Ultra versus LAT. Chat, what do you think?
I think these are the 2 series with more upset potential, right?
I don't see Ultra getting upset by Thieves.
Yeah. Surge. Gursh.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, Ultra have looked pretty shaky both online and on LAN as of late. Everything in my head makes me want to believe that they will lock in before it's champs. Obviously, biggest event of the year. I will always believe in that Thieves team, but I think Ultra take it. Maybe 3-0, honestly. I feel like first series are going to come out hot, or second series. I know first, my bad.
That's my point about LA Thieves, and I've been riding the fucking LA Thieves train first class all year. Like, I'm like, yo, they've got a solid team. They you know, they look good. The issue is that every time I bet with them, they just they either lose 3-2 or get slammed 3-0.
Yeah.
So like I said, I do think Ultra are just gonna turn up. Hopefully this time not underestimate their opponent like they did against LAG. Even though they were good, I still feel like we agreed on it as well, Rab, that they just looked like they just thought they were just going to show up and slam them, and they got shocked. So I'm thinking like a 3-1 Ultra.
3-1 Ultra?
Yeah, I think my perspective as well is like Thieves. They look good at times, but on LAN and also against the top teams, like still the only top team that Thieves have really beaten was that reverse sweep against Subliners in the run-up to Major 4. Apart from that, they just haven't been able to put it together. And I just think on the big stage, round 1 at Champs, I just don't think Thieves are going to have it. But I think I'm going 3-2 here. I've got a 3-2 Ultra dub. Thieves keep it close, and then they just collapse a little bit.
I'm going to go 3-1. I'm going to agree with the others in the call. 3-1, Toronto, take it. Thieves take 1 map off of them. Maybe one of the respawns. That's kind of what I actually want to maybe the S&D, honestly. But yeah, it's up in the air. 3-2 Toronto. That's or 3-1 Toronto. That's what I'm gonna take here. Upset potential, like we said, OpTic Texas, LAG. LAG had a great showing. Outplaced OpTic. You know, what do we...
This one is actually hard, though.
Yeah, what do we think as well? What do we think? OpTic, LAG, do we see OpTic crash out bottom 8, top 8?
I have to go with my prediction here because I said OpTic were going to get top 12 and they were going to make a final. So I'm going to go with an OpTic win just because I am the prophecy. I'm never fucking wrong. And Twitch chat knows this. I did call a top 12. Ace called me a moron.
I did.
So I've got them taking it. Low-key, I've actually got OpTic taking this 3-0.
Okay. Gursh?
First game in front of the home crowd. I think OpTic take it. I also believe a lot in LAG. They proved a lot at the last major. The only thing is, like, there are going to be certain asterisks associated. No fans, right? Like, you're not as tweaking if you're a young team compared to you being in a first match against the team that literally has like their home crowd at the event, at the biggest event of the year. For all those reasons, and just for the fact that Lamar is coaching OpTic now, I need another 5 gifted. I got OpTic 3-0.
Tactical Rabito. Talk to me.
I'm not going to lie. If there wasn't this like OpTic Accuracy discussion, I think I'm picking Gorillas here. But I actually do believe in the Lamar turnaround effect, where they can somehow put together something here for this OpTic team. I also do think the home crowd will have some part to play. But I do generally think that Gorillas may end up being better prepared for this series. Like, you've got to think they've got like 3 coaches working with the team, or you got the coach, you got the couple of analysts. They'll be going balls to the wall prepping for this OpTic series, and you know, I think they'll probably be better prepared than OpTic will, but OpTic still should be the better team, and they are still the 4th favorites. So I'm going to be real. I don't think I have OpTic making an incredibly deep run this tournament, but I do think they get the job done against Gorillas round 1. But obviously it's going to be a crucial game. So yeah, we'll see. I think it could go down to the wire though. Like, I don't expect this to be comfortable. So yeah, I'm going 3-2 OpTic on this one.
OpTic are eating some gorilla ass on Thursday, July 18th. OpTic 3-0 LAG. That's what I'm predicting. 3-0 OpTic smoke show. LAG crash out. Go to losers, make a little bit of a run. But let's go talk about the losers bracket now. Miami Heretics.
We were watching CoD.
Huh?
I thought we were watching CoD.
Why? OpTic eating?
I want to watch Pretty Gorilla Ass.
I mean, I'm about any type of silly goose time. Discovery Channel time, History Channel time. Just if we're doing it, we're doing it, right?
Hey yo.
Animal Planet, Shark Week. Bring me the scandal. I'm about it, bro.
I'm good.
I'm not good. You know what I'm saying? I'm itching. I'm buzzing. Okay, Miami Heretics, Seattle Surge, losers bracket elimination round 1. Who crashes out top 8, Miami or Seattle, boys?
I'm not starting this. I look like I have an agenda.
Okay,
I've got one.
Trey will be last. Trey will come last. In this.
Want to go, guys?
So I was running through the bracket on stream, and something that I think it was actually Magic, who's in chat right now, pointed out is the fact that last major, when we saw Miami win, the last thing we heard was "fuck OpTic, fuck the green wall." You feel me? That OpTic home crowd is gonna be on Vickel's ass, bro.
What did I say? What did I tell you guys?
True.
The thing is, though, like, they're gonna be on Vickel's ass, but Vickel isn't like the turn-up player I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm looking forward to seeing Real go off, Metals go off, Lucky go off, and Vickel obviously spearheading that. But regardless, like, Seattle are hitting form. 04 is good. Purely, though, because I think the upside for Miami's core is better than the upside in my heart than, like, Brezzy, 04, all of them. Or not 04, but Brezzy and, like, Abuza Hook. I'm going to take Miami.
Okay. Miami. We have 1 vote for Miami. Tactical Rabito. Trey's going to go last. What do you think? Miami or Surge? Who's winning this series?
I think I have more concerns on LAN about Surge than I do about Miami, actually. I think like the recent tournament kind of showed that I expect Hook to have some sort of bounce back, but Hook was just really underwhelming the most recent event. So my expectation is I don't really think that's going to change massively. Like Hook was pretty bad this last stage. They need him to turn it around, and if it doesn't happen, it's chalked. I think Miami are going to be more consistent. I think their search and destroy is a bit better. So yeah, I'm actually going Miami 3-2 here as well.
Interesting. Okay, I'll take. You know what? Shockingly, I like Miami a lot. I just think with the crowd, it's not going to be in their favor. I like 0-4 with the crowd. I like that Seattle team. They're more like, you know, we got John Wick on the team. We got a certified killer. So I'm going to take Seattle Surge winning this series 3-2 fashion.
All right, bear in mind, I just want to let you know, and I don't have an agenda because I've actually voted for Miami to win a lot since, and we squashed beef. I do believe that we're going to get some sort of fuck you Draza-esque chant for Vico, and it's going to be louder than what people think it's going to be. This is what I said last time, right? It's going to be pitchforks and everything like that. It's not about when you play OpTic. They're just going to pray on your downfall every single time now, especially when you go out and say that. Like I said, say it, champs, yeah, fucking to it. Like, now you're going to an OpTic home event where you said fuck you and fuck the green wall. Fuck OpTic, fuck green wall. Like, you're about to feel it. I do believe it might play some. I do believe it's going to play some part. I've got Surge taking it 3-1.
3-1. All right, so we have a split here. Chat, could we get a poll or something? Because we actually have a split decision here. I don't even know what to say. We have 2 for Seattle and 2 for Miami. Chat, what do we think? Miami or Seattle?
I fear the OpTic fans are going to win this vote.
They might. They honestly might. We have Surge, Miami, Surge. Let me see up here. Miami. Oh, we got a poll. There you go. Got a little bit of pull. Yeah, I mean, the X factors to this series truly are like whether Metals can keep up the pace he's been on for Major 4, whether he can keep up just being that crazy Slayer AR. Real popping off for sure. The other 2, I think, are just their filler players. I think they would agree themselves. Lucky and Vickle just kind of fill the gaps and handle the business. Surge. Hook is 100% all you need to fucking pop off. If Hook isn't doing anything and he's having the type of major like the Major 4 series he had, wow, they're gonna get choke slammed to oblivion. Let's see what the poll says. 29.
Yeah, chat's definitely going Surge right now. I don't think that's gonna change.
Yeah, 59% for Seattle Surge, 44 votes, 30 votes for Miami Heretics. This is kind of hectic here.
Unfortunately.
I think we're going Seattle.
Oh, Rab, come on now. You're going against me again?
Yeah, I'm going to be right.
You're talking to the Major 4 prediction champion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not joint with Haggy. I got more aura, you know?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Like, I win that by
trophy off Haggy right there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or add an A+ to man, Aura Plus, you know? It's like Stopping Power Pro.
Yeah, he gets the silver medal.
It's a 50-50 match, 48. Yeah, guys, I think it's pretty much Seattle Surge here. So thank you for the decision. Thank you guys for the poll. Thank you for your votes. Next elimination round on Friday, July 19th is going to be the Battle of LA for the final time this year. LAT versus LAG. Let's talk to the Cali boy. Gursh, what do you think about this? Who's winning the Battle of LA?
Wrap it up, bro. Wrap it up. I got LAG in 3. I got fucking Estriel and Flames both whipping it out and going crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, this is already over.
Rabito, you think LAG?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, history don't lie. This is a classic Los Angeles Thieves. Turn up to a tourney, have a close round 1, game 5 loss against Ultra, and then just get bopped out of the tournament to losers bracket. Absolutely no dog, and then I've got to blow it up. So, yeah, I will be there waiting.
Trey 0.
LA Thieves. 3-2.
Gonna have to pose you here, brother. I think LAG 3-1.
And we all go against Trey. We're about to get exposed so hard when this happens.
Yeah, we are. The episode after champs,
Hey,
Trey's going to be guns out, sunglasses on.
Hey, Gursh, catch me after champs, Jude Bellingham.
Dude.
Who else?
Now we have to go back to the winners. Wait, did this go through? Oh, no, yeah, it did.
Mm-hmm.
Winners bracket. Round 2, Friday, July 19th, Atlanta FaZe versus New York Subliners. The rematch, the rematch. In a best of 5 series, who wins?
Right,
we can make a poll. We can make a poll in the chat for this one as well. By the way, this is worth, I think, making a poll. Major 4 rematch.
I'm actually down because I feel like this has got to be a game 5.
My issue is that FaZe are going to win this. My only issue with FaZe is Sundays. I think FaZe are going to go to the finals. The issue with FaZe is the Sundays. I always got FaZe in the final because they fry everyone, and then on the Sundays I don't know what happens. I'm still going with my classic. I think it's going to be a FaZe OpTic final.
Okay.
That's what I'm going for.
Okay, so FaZe continues on. New York get pushed down. Gursh, Rab, Gursh, Rab.
I mean, throw a poll in the chat. I'll do a poll right now.
Oh, I thought we had one.
Well, it ain't up yet, so I'm gonna make one.
Breaking point, man.
Reb, while you're doing that, I'm not gonna pull some reverse jinx cheese here. Personally, I'm just super tired of seeing New York hit that lower bracket, catch fire, and then just steamroll down there, come into the grand finals just looking hot. For that reason, and also just knowing that New York are probably going to have more confidence heading into this matchup than they would otherwise, I'm going to say New York here, but then fingers crossed, FaZe are the ones making that lower bracket run, catching fire, and coming into grand finals ready to dominate.
Wow, interesting take. I was not expecting that from the guy with the FaZe rug. Okay, Tactical Rab, what do we think here?
Oh, this is tricky. I don't know. It's like New York. If you win the event before champs, there's a good chance that you're going to have a really good result of the World Championship itself. I just think that, yeah, FaZe just don't tend to lose very often before they get to a Sunday. So I think I'm going to take FaZe 3-2. Just the search and destroy has been quite interesting, right? Because New York obviously were good at search when they beat FaZe at the tourney, but a lot of it was like their respawn being just unbelievable.
Right.
So yeah, FaZe 3-2 in this one, but it's like these series are so tough to call.
So what do we have?
This
We have a
especially,
New York, we have a FaZe, and then Trey, you said FaZe, right? Wow, the guy who's most close to FaZe is trying to look unbiased. We see what you're doing, Gursh. We see what you're doing. You're not low, bro.
I also think his take's pretty good as well. Like, they did just win the major. They do. I think they play FaZe the closest out of any of the top 4 teams, out of any of the other 3 teams.
I actually have New York, but and the chat is picking FaZe, so we're gonna go with the FaZe 3-2. We said Trey and Rab 3-2 or 3-1.
I got 3-1.
Game 5.
Game 5.
You guys got to understand, like, the one thing that people say about New York after like seeing them in person is their mental. Like, every coach in the league will look at New York, look at their team, and say their mental is way higher than anyone else here. Like, New York are always fucking locked in, and I feel like because they literally just beat FaZe in a grand final on LAN, that's going to be dialed up to the max for a fucking Friday match, right? So it is what it is.
Okay. Yeah, I get it, but I also I think back to Major 4, and I also think how FaZe just slapped him around at the first day of the tournament. So
that's true.
I think it could go both ways.
That's true. But we got a 3-2 Atlanta FaZe versus New York Subliners. If I have to guess, this is gonna be a bang out to the end, and then FaZe will take it out in Game 5. Toronto Ultra versus OpTic Texas. Another one. Toronto versus the Green Wall. We can make another poll if someone is in here that could make the poll. OpTic or Toronto, what do we think is going to be the outcome? Let's start with Rab this time. We start with you guys most. Let's start with Rab this time.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Okay. All right, OpTic versus Ultra. We're back again. Scrappy versus the boys that may need him after this season if this result doesn't go to plan. I think that OpTic will play a bit better this tournament. I don't think they're going to play better enough. My feeling is that this is going to be, until proven otherwise, the classic OpTic story that we've seen for many a year. And maybe accuracy is going to be a catalyst to turn it the other way, but I look at this OpTic team and I think I've seen it all before. They look really good at a point, they fall off, they bounce back at champs, but it ain't enough. And I think this is a series that against Ultra, I just see a Game 5 dub for Ultra here. Now, I know there's the home crowd stuff and all that, but I mean, I can't deny the fact that OpTic have lost their last 7 or 8 series in a row. So I think they can turn it around. I just don't know if they're going to be able to get to the level they need to be at. So I've got Ultra 3-2.
Okay. Let's hop up. Let's go in order. Trey, what do we think? Mr. I'm never wrong. Toronto, OpTic, what's happening here?
I think it's gonna be a very close game, just because I don't think Ultra looked the greatest either. But with the slump that OpTic were in, obviously we're just predicting, that nothing's changed, or it's got a little bit better but not as good. I still believe Ultra's S&D is going to be better than OpTic's. I don't know what it is about OpTic's S&D. I just don't like it. It's just weird to me the way they play it. I don't like it a lot. So on that basis, I've got Ultra taking this 3-1.
3-1. Okay. Gursh?
Yeah, I'm gonna say home crowd cheese. OpTic 3-1.
Okay. Oh, he said OpTic 3-1. Oh no.
Oh, yeah, Gursh just went to these 5 gifteds, man. I know this guy's.
Hey, yeah, crazy, Lamar, I know you're watching, Lamar. I'm going live later. I'm gonna need 5 gifted.
You know what? I'm going with the cheese too, and I know that the chat said OpTic, so I'm going OpTic.
No way our bracket's gonna look like this.
OpTic 3-1 against Toronto. Done.
I mean, look, to be fair, the last major we had OpTic bombing out early, and we were right. So you gotta think maybe it's time.
Actually, wait, I got OpTic 3-0, not 3-1.
Oh, you have 3-0?
Well, we ain't listening to you.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, I don't know what.
You're the guest in our house, okay? You don't tell us what we're gonna do.
No. Sorry, I'm not like changing your selection. I'm just like fixing what I said, because the thing is, like, Lamar's there now, so like 5 gifted on the line. Like I got up to 3.
I mean, I gotta make a poll really, because technically it was 2-2. Obviously, we know what the chat's gonna say, but like,
I think this is gonna be a lot closer than you think.
How do you make a I don't know how to make a poll. I'm a mod. I don't know how to make a poll.
You just type like a dash poll in the chat, bro. I'm doing it.
But
we might have 15 polls going up at the same time. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, OpTic. That's the thing. OpTic's definitely the biggest. It's weird to say that OpTic is like the dark.
Go with your head chat as well. Like I want chat to engage brain. Like if you're a big OpTic fan, like let's.
Rab is trying to cheese them.
Try and put aside the bias.
Stop sucking chat. Dude, what the fuck? Let them pick what they want to pick, man. Green wall.
Right.
Green
Doing the opposite.
wall.
Yeah, look at him go. Yeah.
Wall. Green wall. Come on, man.
All right, OpTic fans, just click what you want to pick.
Right, you want to know why I said this is gonna be a lot closer than it is? It's because I don't know why, but the OpTic fans have got so much hate for Pred recently that I feel like they want them to lose.
Wait, don't actually. You might be right on that.
I don't know why, because I said it last time. Like it's literally
they're preying on the downfall, bro. It's the same people in Dashy's replies about him fucking playing Valorant. It's like,
and I'm not saying
they call themselves OpTic fans, and they kind of are.
I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this is all OpTic fans. Like, don't generalize yourself. I'm just saying, with a lot of people, they're saying, with a lot of OpTic fans, it's like we want Pred gone. Like he's the main issue right now.
Look at this, bro. Look at chat just absolutely meat riding OpTic. Look at this Ultra. They have the Ultra dub here. That's crazy.
Meat riding OpTic. I mean, we got another like 30 seconds on the poll. 30 seconds for the OpTic fans to turn it around. It's closing up.
If you haven't voted, vote for the right team. Make sure you vote for the right team.
No way. The OpTic fans are logging into their alt accounts. This is going down to the wire, baby. Oh, no. Ultra just actually locked it up right there. That's crazy.
All right. Well, I guess our bracket is changing. Never mind. Toronto
the chat goes Ultra in 5, I think.
1. Wait, what do you guys think?
No, we're taking 3-2. I mean,
3-2? 3-1? What do we say?
I'm taking 3-1.
Right.
I mean, the poll was 53-47. Like, I feel like that's got to be a 3-2, really, you know?
All right, fuck it. We'll go 3-2 to have a silly goose time. Now, we have elimination round 2, Saturday, July 20th, OpTic Texas, Seattle Surge. Thoughts?
Well, I've got OpTic going away to the final now, so you can just chalk me up for this one.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mate, this is the Rambo Ray Bowl.
Oh, the storylines are there.
Oh, yeah.
The storylines are there.
It's where Dashy stands up, wee Rambo, fuck off.
Yeah. He takes Scrappy's line straight up from underneath.
he takes his
This is Rambo's chance to like. Can you imagine? Okay, let's say Rambo wins this with Surge, and Dashi gets dropped or something. Like that'd be kind of poetic, wouldn't it? If Rambo was like responsible.
Rambo
after Dashi got him dropped.
Rambo hops on stage. That's why I tried dropping you. That's why.
Oh my god. I'll be there front row.
I'm gonna say on this one, just to switch up the order a little bit here. I think OpTic 3-1. I think they lose the search to Seattle, but they take the respawn. So 3-1 OpTic. Cool. Everyone on board? Gursh, you on board?
Yeah, I say 3-1.
All right. OpTic Revenge Tour goes on.
I think OpTic win this one. I think it's close, but yeah, I got them at 3-1. To be honest, I don't even have Surge winning the first series. So like in my bracket, I've got Miami OpTic here, but I think I've still got OpTic winning because I think like the Vic or fuck the green wall, that is going to come back to bite him, unfortunately. So I think I've got OpTic winning this series anyway.
New York Subliners versus LAG. Also, I believe a rematch from the latter part of Major 4. Did they play them or did they play FaZe? No, they played. They
did play each other,
yes,
yeah.
They did play.
I mean, this is when New York just locked the fuck in, like, and they just make a crazy losers run. I've seen it before.
Yep. So I mean, I'm NYSL for me. Rab NYSL, Trey, Trey and Gursh.
I'm gonna say
don't be
LAG
cringe,
Game
bro.
5 Masterclass. No, deadass. I'm gonna say LAG Game 5 Masterclass. You know, as much as I love New York, I'm gonna take the upset here.
Well, Gursh just said these guys are the most locked-in team like of all time, and they're fucking not gonna lose to FaZe.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Estrel's gonna whip it out. Flames is gonna whip it out, and I'm standing by that.
Interesting.
You're standing by them whilst whipping it out, or
You whipping out too?
Maybe
I will be there.
Trey,
let me know, Trey.
Trey, what do you think? Are you gonna stalemate us and force us to make a poll here, but it doesn't need to be made, or are you gonna do the right answer?
Do like a good poll.
Oh, son of a bitch, bro! You're gonna make a stalemate just to stalemate? You really in your heart believe that LAG take New York out of the champs? Truly?
It's just you gotta take an upset somewhere, bro. You feel me?
You do got to take an upset somewhere, and if there was an upset, would it be New York after winning Major 4? It is possible.
You tell us. What do you give us? You're the finalization. Whether the poll is up anyways, but now are you gonna stalemate us 2-2 or is 3-1? 3-1. New York winning this.
Come on, Trey, whip it out with me.
Oh my god.
LAG 3-2.
Let's go.
Wow.
You're so annoying. Sansky, first time chatter, says New York running through losers bracket. I'm on the same wavelength, bro. I'm on the same wavelength.
New York are making the losers run here, 100%.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, look at the poll right now. These guys are faded. 73% already. 30 votes to 12. 71% say NYSL. So I'm gonna lock that in. 3.
I think it's a 3-1 based on the chat percentages.
All right, 3. I'm okay with 3-1. 3-1 seems good. 3-1 seems good. Now we have a winners.
Yes.
Let's do the elimination, then we'll do the winners finals. Actually, we'll do it the opposite way.
We will be Jude Bellingham when we come back.
With everything out. You feel me? We're gonna move the watch party to kick just for that one.
Jesus.
Okay, this one we're gonna need a poll for as well.
OpTic elimination round 3 to make it to elimination finals. OpTic Texas, New York Subliners for the bread to continue the tournament. This would be for top. If you lose here, I think you're top 4. Yeah, you're top 4. Yeah, you're top 4. Here.
Top 4, which is like not good enough to keep the same roster.
This is the make or break. This match is the make or break whether you keep your roster or you don't, in my opinion. If it ends up being this way. For New York, you win, you go out top 4, you might make a change. You go out top 3, you probably don't make a change. You at the end of the year, you saw the progress, you won a tournament, you got top 3, you keep it, going to beat Black Ops 6 makes a lot of sense. OpTic Texas. For them, basically, if you don't go top 3, then that's the only way I see anyone OpTic getting dropped. You don't get top 3. Chat. We have it up for chat. Oh no, we don't have the poll up yet because
it's gonna come up in a second. This one's about to end, and then I'll put the new one up. I'm interested to see what chat say for this one because personally, I've got the subliners losers bracket run. I mean, I think in this series, if OpTic lose to Ultra or something, like if OpTic lose first round, they would be on like a different bracket situation. But that would be even worse because they'd play this team potentially earlier in the bracket. They could play New York earlier or FaZe earlier, which would be kind of wild, even if they were to beat Thieves. But yeah, my feeling is just that New York should just be better right now. I think they're better prepared.
Okay. Yeah.
New York versus OpTic.
I promise I'm not trolling when I say this, even though half the stuff I'd say usually is trolling.
I'm crowd buff though.
So when we were talking about New York playing FaZe, I said the same thing. I personally wouldn't want to see New York in the losers bracket. And if they're there, like, they're going to cook. Because New York is New York. Like, I'm looking at mode by mode what that matchup looks like. Unless, the Lamar buff is really that big, 5 gifted. I think it could even be a 3-0. Right. New York are better at hardpoint. New York on search, depending on the map, could cook. And then, fuck it, control. W respawn.
Trey 0.
OpTic going to the finals, so
don't even ask.
I predicted this when we done our predictions for Major 4. I said OpTic will go out top 12 this event and come back for champs and be in the finals, be it come second or first.
Oh, this is a tight one in the poll right now. If you guys are in the chat and you haven't voted yet, I want your vote in there right now.
3-1. Okay, we have some first-time chatters. Let me just say what they're saying. 3 first-time chatters saying, ZPSV says, is Champs Finals a best of 7 or best of 9?
7.
Well, we'll see in a second. I think...
Yeah, it is 7, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure it's best 7. After 9, Corona says it's either OpTic 3-1 or NYSL 3-2. If it goes to 5, OpTic lose, in my opinion. That's a fair take.
Probably isn't 9 because there's literally just one series on the Sunday.
Crans OpTic solely because they're starting the series directly after winning a series.
Bro, they started Major 2 Grand Finals after beating New York just before, and they still lost. Like, that's not a good argument.
It's a best of 9? Why, bro? Ace B Yap. Everyone's all mad at me for no one answered. Yet I'm the only one who's like, oh yeah, probably. Oh, no, I didn't even get the answer. They said best of 7. I was like, yeah, it's probably best of 7. But I'm yapping. Come on, guys. Lumax says OpTic have got the crowd advantage of champs. I feel like it's got to be them. First time chatter. Prickson says OpTic will have Dashy Dynasty moment. They'll win the champs.
Wow, look at this, guys.
And K1 says definitely OpTic win. Thank you for the first time chats. NY Self's OpTic poll ends with 56% of the chat saying OpTic take it. And I agree. OpTic Texas 3-1 advantage to get to elimination finals. Now, the grand spanking granddaddy of them all, winners finals, Atlanta FaZe versus Toronto Ultra. Let's start with myself, because what? Fuck these guys. No, I'm just playing. These guys, I'm going to say FaZe 3-0 Toronto to make it to grand finals. That's my take right here. Who you want? Trey?
Well, for starters, I have to go with FaZe. Because that's the way that's the way I'm looking at things, like with my bracket, OpTic in the finals, FaZe versus them. Plus, FaZe have never beat Ultra on LAN. I'm correct in that, right?
I think you have to look at that to some degree here. The scrappy record against Draza on LAN is very good. And although they'll look back at that series they played at Major 3 and think, damn, we really should have won that one. Still, there were...
Right. They are fucking due, Rab. FaZe 3-1.
I honestly think
they've got to be due, right?
I think they're due a win against Toronto, yeah, I'm not going to lie.
They are.
Okay, so Trey, we pretty much have Rab and Trey agreeing that Toronto are due for the win here. Gursh, are you going to be the tie? Are you going to put us in a tie, or are you going to be the tiebreaker?
I'm unfortunately going to put us in a tie. I don't want bad juju, so I'm going to take Ultra.
Well, we're not a
tie. Okay, well, again, I'm asking the chat. If you're in the chat, get in the poll, give us your opinion.
Toronto, then.
There you go. Okay, we have 16 versus 13. Very tightly.
Wait, who did you say, Ace?
I said FaZe was going to win.
Oh,
yeah, me and Rab said FaZe were going to win.
Yeah, KJ just reminded me in the chat that actually.
Wait, I think you guys said Toronto was going to win.
We said Ultra. We said FaZe have never beat Ultra in LAN, and then we said FaZe is due a win. FaZe 3-1.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard the other way. My bad, gangsters. Okay. So
look at chat go though. We got some interesting takes here. It's just going to be right down to the wire.
50-50 right now.
It's
Holy
literally
shit.
50-50 with like 25 seconds on the clock. Because we've got Scrappy versus Draz. People are arguing that FaZe are better, but other people are arguing that Scrappy owns this matchup.
First time chatter,
CEO of
almighty
Ultra.
push. Super hot take. I think FaZe bomb out as long as no one chokes their game. I think FaZe lose to NYSL and then lose to OpTic in elimination. Interesting take. Interesting take.
Wait,
poll's almost up. This is it.
I think it's a draw.
Oh my god, they tied it, bro. Okay,
Jesus.
That's crazy. Okay, well that means we go with what we said, which is 3-1. So congrats, FaZe. They take it. That's good work for the chat, though.
Wait,
I honestly,
do
I'm
you,
not.
Do you agree?
massively in
Sorry,
disagreement.
do you agree that FaZe is the better team, but Ultra's like Ultra's in their head type aspect? Like obviously,
Yeah,
Ultra are very
I
good.
think so.
Ultra are a very good fucking team. Let's not get it twisted. But like FaZe are a better team, but Ultra just have that mental over them.
I think.
Yeah, it feels that way at times. Certainly, Major 3, it felt that way. But even back at Major 3, like, I mean, FaZe really should have won that final Rio. Like, there were so many opportunities.
That's my point.
I know they didn't win it, but I'm like, they can't. Every series can't go like that, you know. Maybe
Or
it
it
can.
could.
Maybe it can.
I don't know. I think it's more just like, I don't know. So we've questioned FaZe's mental sometimes when it comes to high pressure moments, when it comes to like the biggest moments, and against Toronto, it's definitely a high pressure moment for an individual on that team, and they know there's higher eyes on that matchup. I think they're due. Like we said, I think they're due. Crazy that we got an even poll. That's kind of wild, actually. I don't think we've gotten an even poll yet, even in the tier list where we did like 100 of them. I don't know if we got an even poll a single time. Elimination finals, Toronto Ultra, OpTic Texas to play FaZe in the best of 9 grand finals. Who do we got? I know, Trey, I'm not even gonna ask you. You already have your take in. Let's start with Gursh. Gursh, Toronto or OpTic? Who's going to grand finals?
I just know somewhere out there, Lamar's watching. Enough said.
Okay.
5 gifted.
5 gifted.
5 gifted.
5 gifted.
Tactical Repito.
Right. Okay, let's see what the chat has to say about this.
We got first time chatter.
Because
OpTic sweep top 4 teams again, and then first time chatter Ultra. That's all we got.
Okay, best of 5, it's definitely possible there. Obviously, in the first round, we had OpTic taking it down. I'm just looking at the storylines, right? Like, I'm thinking, okay, Ultra back in the finals, Scrappy having been Rookie of the Year last year and losing the finals in the way that he did. You know, Scrap to get his ring, or at least to try to. That'd be part of the play. Like, I can't logically pick OpTic to win this series just because of what I said so far. I can't change my mind. But what I have realized is that whoever makes the finals, I have to take them to beat FaZe because that's simply what logic dictates as well. But having said what I said, I think that OpTic will, if they do make it this far, which I don't think that they will, but if they do make it this far, I think they fall short at top 3. This would be the quintessential OpTic placing if they were to win an event, fall off, make a comeback, and it's top 3. It's like the classic. Because it's neither, in some ways, it's neither good nor bad. Like, it's not good enough, but it's also not terrible, but you've still got to consider your future at that point. So, yeah.
So, which one?
I'm taking Ultra 3-2.
Oh, God. Okay. Knock Hardy, first time chatter. Shotzi Masterclass. We got Z saying dashy emoji, OG pancakes. Why would Lamar have an effect on the team? Noon. If OpTic make it past top 8, they're winning champs. Real Canadian, Ultra 3-0, no bias. And the poll now is about to close up. If you haven't voted, go vote. But it does look like we have OpTic winning this losers final. And I actually am going to say OpTic are making it to the grand finals.
They know ball, man. They've heard my fucking script. They heard what I said last time. They was like, no, we got top 12. But Trey said when we get in second, so we take small L's, big W's.
And we get the classic, the greatest, probably the most watched, hopefully the most watched thing of the whole year.
Oh, yeah.
FaZe, OpTic, grand finals, champs, best of 9. At this point, what are we thinking? Who do I want to start this one? You know what, Trey, since we've had you with this OpTic over and over again, what do you think happens in the grand finals for OpTic now? OpTic FaZe.
Well, for starters, I hope one of the fucking teams doesn't get slammed fucking 5-0 like last time. because that was boring. I woke up severely hungover. I was like, oh, I'll go tune in for a fucking masterclass of a fucking grueler. Next thing you know, I showed up 2-0 down. 30 minutes later, I go and get a scuff controller. I come back, the fucking event's over. So hopefully it's an absolute grueler. I've got FaZe. It's best of 9, right? Yeah, it is the best of 9. I got FaZe taking it 5-2.
Okay. Let's go the other guy with some bias in this call. Gursh, what are we thinking? FaZe OpTic Grand Final. Who's winning, buddy?
You can't get 5 gifted from this one,
again,
Gursh.
bro. No, again, I'm very superstitious, and I mean that wholeheartedly. Like, I am very superstitious. For that reason, I'm gonna take OpTic 5-0, winning on every single mode. Definitely no slip ups ever. Shout out Lamar once again. I'm gonna wear a T-shirt with his face on it. It says 5 gifted right here across my belly.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Oh, actually, you got to think 5 gifted, 1 for every map win. But yeah, like I feel like it's clear what I really want in my heart, but purely for superstition, I got OpTic sweep.
Okay, Tactical Rab. Atlanta FaZe.
Right, it's
or
crazy we actually find ourselves in this position, man. Like when I came into this bracket today, I thought there was a reasonable chance that we like ended up having OpTic go out top 8, but here they are. I do think that if OpTic do start to make a run, they will get better and better. Like they just need a good win on the board against Gorillas, and I think they can be a threat. Like we're seeing what they've done before, and they can come out on the Sunday and they can get the job done here. I don't think I can predict that again. Like I have to at least go with some of the logic that I've said so far, and I think that if OpTic do improve throughout the tournament, they can improve to a certain level. But in a best of 9, when the map pool, the depth of the map pool is so integral, I do think FaZe have more strength and depth in the map pool, and I also think that the fact that the sub-base hardpoint, I've talked about the storyline for so long, I'd love it to actually come true at some point this tournament. The fact that FaZe have been grinding sub-base to the point where they can play OpTic in a big series such as this and actually get the advantage. So I want to say FaZe finally get over the curse and get the job done in the finals, and Simba and Beezy get the 3rd ring.
Wow, 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 wow.
What's chat have to say about it? We've got about a minute left. If you guys haven't voted in the poll, by the way, in the chat, got like a minute left. It's a tight one right now. It's a seriously tight one. We have to run a recount.
48-52. All right, I'm gonna go with my take. You know what? I think it's gonna be a miraculous run at OpTic just to make it here, right? Considering what Major 4 was like for them to get here, it's gonna be a glorious turnaround. Potential new coach. All this is going on. Great storyline. OpTic FaZe finals. Everything everyone wants to see. It's great for COD. It's a great thing to happen right before we get this EWC push and all that. Maybe we see them play again at EWC. Who knows, right? That's a possibility as well. If I'm a betting man, which I am not, only when I'm sitting with Tommy Zuma and Prize Picks is open, only time I'm a betting man, I'm going with Trey Zero's count because that's what I had in my head as well. Atlanta FaZe take this 5-2 to win the year out. They're clearly been the most consistent team throughout the year. Yeah, they haven't won every major, but they've placed very well throughout. I think they get it. They close it out. They win their ring. And at this point, the conversation of Simp being the greatest, top 3 greatest players ever in COD history has to, we have to take it a lot more seriously after this one. Chat.
Okay, so what? Okay, the chat's at OpTic. So now I'm wondering,
what do we do?
Well, they kind of have to. There are OpTic fans. Apart from when it's against Ultra, it makes no sense to me. Don't worry, it don't. But
all I'm saying is, we'd get some nice impressions if we made OpTic win the finals.
Yeah, but we don't do it for viewers. We said that to Doug earlier.
Nah, that's cap.
What?
Right.
Rabito exposing himself. What the fuck is this? I've never been there. No. 5-2 Atlanta FaZe is taking the grand finals. Where's the lock it in?
Yeah, Rab, think about it though, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
We could do the OpTic for impressions, or we can fucking predict it perfectly and win 10 racks.
That's actually a good point. I fancy the 10 racks, I'm not going to lie.
There it is, boys and girls. We'll lock it in. Just a quick overcap. FaZe, FaZe, FaZe. Toronto. Yeah, this is it. You know, FaZe, FaZe, FaZe.
I actually like our bracket.
I do too. I think
it's pretty nice. I think it's pretty nice. I feel like there's going to be some sort of interesting like upset in there somewhere, but
someone's getting upset, and
I guess the fact
scared.
that OpTic are even making the run, like I think that's almost like the upset, to be honest, of OpTic making the run.
The only thing I have to say is that our losers bracket, is everything going to be a 3-1? That's the only thing I have to overview before locking this in. Is everything a 3-1?
Yep.
I mean, I was saying you could put some 3-2s, but like, you know.
Oh, no, now that I'm dude, it's like when you're taking a multiple choice test and you don't know the answer, so you just pick C. Did we just go 3-1 on everything? Because that's our C on the multiple choice test.
I feel like Champs is less mixy when it comes down to these.
Question though.
What's up?
Which might change our 3-1 dilemma.
Uh-oh.
If you guys, you three are saying, your show, right? Not mine. If you three are saying that supposedly there's this big mental block between FaZe and Ultra just know that they can dominate FaZe, why would Ultra lose to OpTic, who have been dominated by FaZe? Like
it's
matchup. The food chain set up Ultra.
Yeah, it's matchups.
It's matchups. It's like World War II where we could beat TK but couldn't beat Rise. Like, and that was just back and forth. Like the top. That it happens every single year. It's just matchups. I couldn't tell you why. I'm even scared about our FaZe pick of Ultra just purely based on the fact that Ultra have not lost to them on LAN this year. But I'm going with the basis of someone's fucking due. Yeah, and it's FaZe. Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Lamar, so.
Yeah. The issue is that everyone's so torn, and it's become normal that FaZe just are the most consistent team, but they don't win. And the only people that can change that is them 4 players themselves, the coaching staff, and Gursh's memes. So you've got to make better memes. Simp's got to shoot better, and Tupac's got to give them plant spots. But I'm actually, one thing I'm actually really fucking excited for is how many fucking crazy spots we're going to see at this event.
I think that's why I think New York can be like kind of a threat, because I feel like if there's any team that's cooked some shit up, like New York might be the team.
I can't wait for someone to take out an AMR though, like take out another side. Start shooting.
They've showed their shit early.
Maybe I feel like they got more of it.
We've got Shotzi who like never shows any. Well, actually, not Shot, because he be showing shit on stream just for the fucking correct, just because he's got like thousands of views. Everyone's like, oh my god! But I have a feeling Cell's got some filthy fucking stuff cooked up, man. This guy's a fucking loser, and Gursh knows what it is. Gursh has seen it. I'm telling you, Gursh has seen it.
Scratching his head and shit. Gursh is like, shit, I can't say nothing about this. We're locking it in, saving these predictions, submitting them right now. Click. All right, the website's broken. Great. Yep. This is.
It won't let you select it. It has to be OpTic in the finals. If you put OpTic win in finals, then it'll let you lock it in.
As Call of Duty as it could be, as literally as COD as it can be, I can't click it for some reason. So we're gonna lock it in as it is. I can't click it, but whatever. Go into our home screen. Let's go to our full screen here. Where's our full screen with the guests, man?
Oh, good. We'll create a thing.
What a show. What a show. What a show. Good times. Been a good vibe. Had some drama, right? The chat blew up for a second. We had Censor. We had Slasher. We had who else do we have? We had OpTic. We had Denny. We had Scrim Intel in here, low key dropping a tweet with us. It's been a great stream. Almost 600 people were in here a bit ago. We appreciate you guys.
We had like 680.
Oh, there you go. I saw 600.
It was going crazy. We had Slasher in here going crazy.
Yeah.
We
averaged like 500 too, like same as on our tier list as well. Like
Lamar was watching.
Lamar was in here as well, right?
Yeah.
Lamar was in here as well. It's been a crazy.
5 gifted.
It was the 5 gifted.
Absolutely crazy.
OpTic check. Nice, like it.
Before we I sign us off and close this out, man. Thank you to Gursh. Thank you, Gursh, for stopping by and adding some big clarifications. What are your thoughts? Final thoughts before we sign off. What do you got, Gursh?
Oh no, bro. I appreciate you. I'm no expert. I'm no former pro. I'm just from the community and for the community. So having you guys genuinely listen to what I have to say means a lot.
Absolutely. Tactical Rabito, what you got, man, to close this out?
Always a pleasure, gentlemen. We've been popping off lately. Season is nearly coming to a close, but it's been a good time. I'm just so excited to be in Dallas to see the World Championship. See a bit of Dallas, see a bit of Allen, Texas, and hopefully see an absolutely fantastic event, because I've never been to a World Championship before. Been lucky enough to have been to several events at this point, but never got to go to a champs as of yet. And it's going to be one of the biggest crowds I've ever had. Circular arena. I'm sure that it's just going to be an absolutely spectacular vibe. So, hopefully it's what COD's all about. And if we can get a bracket like we've just played out with OpTic making this remarkable run, then it'll be absolute fairy tale stuff.
Trey Zero, what you got for us?
Well, first of all, to everyone still in the chat, let's get a fucking W for Gursh joining us, Rab joining us, and Ace joining us on this goddamn Monday. You can all call us bums, you can call us whatever you like, but listen, we're here for you day in, day out. Well, Monday in, Monday out, Friday in, Friday out. Listen, just want to, quickly, like Ace said before in the last show, if you guys enjoy the stuff, make sure you follow the Twitch, follow the YouTube, subscribe, do whatever you need to do to make sure you hear us every time. Me and Ace will be covering a lot more stuff. We got a lot of things planned in the next few weeks with like pros coming on, like Ace said, and stuff like that. We want to get as much content out for you guys in the off season as possible. Rab doesn't really enjoy us anymore. He's just been fucking floating around doing life other stuff, but
doing F1 things, all this F1 things.
Yeah, hanging out with my actual rich friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, getting crim sticks, gloves, and whatever like that. Yeah. But anyway, listen, I appreciate you all. I'm getting noticed for being that guy on Dope Check now instead of the professional player that I once was, so that's funny. But it's all love over here from me, man. I appreciate you all. It's all, I really do.
Absolutely. Guys, to sign us off, man, if you haven't, like, comment, subscribe, like Trey said. And if you want to listen to us only in your earbuds and have us tickle your earlobes like some beautiful ASMR, check us out on Spotify and subscribe over there. You not only get the full episodes, but you also get the banter beforehand and hear the silly goose time happening before. Appreciate Gursh for stopping in so much and offering, his takes on all the COD drama, and even, bringing some clarity to this censor drama that we had. Thank you so much, Gursh. Thank you for stopping by. From Breaking Point, from Dope Check, from myself, Tactical Rab, and Trey Zero, we appreciate you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe like we said. And we will see you guys on Friday for the episode 28.5. And obviously next Monday, probably live in person. Me, Rab, and Trey together maybe. Maybe on Tuesday we drop it. We might have some variation next week. But in person, Dope Check episode 29 is coming your way, and then we'll see you guys during the watch parties live every day during champs, the Dope Check watch party, the Breaking Point watch party. We appreciate you guys, and signing off. We love you. See you guys Friday.
Take care.
You're